Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark. I am your host, Eric. We have a lot of fun tonight. We have a lot of trailers to look at. Got a lot of opinions about trailers. So we're going to be looking at all of those. I think I need to switch my... Let's see if I can switch it here. Light mode. There we go. That was a problem. I'm like, why is it so dark in here? How's everybody doing? I'm trying to get Stream Elements to work on the Reloaded channel. Nightbot works on the Debunks channel. Stream Elements should work on the Reloaded channel. However, it doesn't seem to be working for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see here. I hate to start out this way. Anyway, I didn't have internet all weekend. So if you guys were here on Saturday, we did the after party, myself and Paigey, and my internet wasn't working well. He said I was roboting a few times, which I probably was. And so there was an issue with that, and I had to use my phone to connect to the internet, or I couldn't have done the after party. And right at the end, which is why we ended it so early, we ended it like after an hour. Right at the end, after I logged out, I was sitting here editing a video, and my internet went out, and it stayed out all the way until about the middle of the day today. So I couldn't make shorts. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't make videos and upload them. It took up too much fucking internet speed to upload properly through my phone because everybody was using their phone. And it's because we have had such cold weather around here, things are breaking down. A club that I was working at, the HVAC unit that warms it was completely broken. So we were at the club and there was no heat. There was no heat at all. So it's been bad. All right, let's see. It says the bot has successfully joined the channel. So let's see. Does anybody else use Stream Elements? Let's see. Let's try this. We'll try this one. I think it's dupe. It's exclamation point uptime. Does that do anything? It does not do anything. This is crazy. In the most cartoonish way possible. All right. I'm going to do a separate stream where I will attempt to fix the issue. But right now, cannot. We have Joe here. Good to see you, Joe.
Hey, I apparently got here just late enough that I don't know what the issue that needs fixing is.
I have a auto moderating service through Stream Elements that I've used for years, and it just stopped working for me on my channel. So yeah, I've been dealing with that, and you can't really change anything until you're live, which is a problem because I don't want to spend my stream trying to fix something.
Right.
So I'm going to have to do a separate stream just to work on that.
The fix-it stream.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, on the Debunks channel, the Nightbot does work. That one works. But you can only have one Nightbot per account, and since the accounts are together, then that's the issue. So, anyway, but it's been freezing cold. But however, tomorrow it's going to be 60 degrees here, and it's going to be warm for like 3 days in a row. So that's good. I don't know. Is it still cold up there where you are?
Not as cold as it was. The cold has destroyed my battery.
For your car?
I need to get my car into the shop tomorrow to get a new battery put in. So I've been kind of stuck at home. But
so has it given you time to think about what you want to do once you get your battery? Are you going somewhere? Are you planning any trips? Or
I have a bunch of ideas.
Okay.
And one just popped up this weekend. Like, I got a list of places.
Why are my M&Ms on camera? Get off camera, M&Ms.
No, I got a whole list of places I want to make videos, and one of them just popped up on Threads the other day. Like I never heard of this place. There's a place near me, apparently a video store, a new video store.
Nude?
Yeah. Nude. No, a new video store opened in my area that I did not know about. And then I saw an ad for it on Threads. And I'm like, well, I think I'm going to be going over there this week.
Sounds like fun. Jay Selder, we are going to talk about that because I'm going to talk about Bad Bunny, but we're going to wait. We're going to save that. That's one of the big topics that's going to be in the second hour. So we'll talk about that then. So what was I going to say? I had another thing and then it just completely left my head. Jay Bird says, I'm looking forward to the new Crazy Joe Crazy Adventures. So
thank you. No, there's some in the cards. There's some in the cards.
All right. Well, since I completely forgot what I was going to say, let's do a little bit of my updates for the channel. So the next official after party with Paigey, this was in the Discord. People were asking about this, so I figured I'd put it here in case people tune in here. They can get that information at the beginning. The next official after party with Paigey is going to be March the 14th. It's a Saturday. However, people did donate to get an additional bonus after party. The bonus after party is a non-scheduled one as of right now, meaning once we decide when we're going to do it, we will schedule it and then you will see it. But the next official episode is March 14th. So we didn't forget about that. It is something I'm going to do. So just know you'll see that as soon as possible. I have 2 videos coming out this week that people have been asking for, and they were bonus goals in the Debunks channel. Snarky J videos coming out this week. We're going to do a wellness check on Snarky J's channel. I'm going to kind of look at her content. Maybe watch a video. I haven't recorded that one completely yet. I've done some of it, but not all of it. The Critical Drinker Kathleen Kennedy video is out this week, and I have recorded that one already. So that will be coming out by Friday. And then next week, either end of this week, early next week, will be my big essay video about Marvel Phases 4 and 5, where I'm going to prove to everyone that they're not as bad as people say they are. I think there's a lot of hate towards it, but numbers tell a different story. So we will look at that as well. That's going to be on the Reloaded channel. So all of that is now out of the way. Mayo Jufro says, Joe, are you planning on going to the theater anytime soon? I really enjoy your out-of-theater movie reviews. I don't think Joe's doing those anymore.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but no, I've kind of decided to not do those anymore. I'm putting most of my energy into the Crazy Joe Adventures channel now. You'll still see physical media reviews on the Crazy Joe concession stand channel because, I mean, they keep sending me stuff like here, Friday the 13th Part 2 on 4K. They keep sending me stuff, so I'm obligated to review it. But most of my energy is going into.
We have a Friday the 13th coming up soon. Maybe you should schedule it out.
Maybe.
We did get a super chat here, getting the ball rolling in the Reloaded channel. It's only 5 tonight, guys. And I tried to make it so that it will go the length of the stream because it keeps getting shortened. So I have it at 2.5 hours because I started the goal 30 minutes before we went live. So hopefully it all works out. Math works for it. The Alexa commercial last night was a bold choice showing all the ways Alexa AI can kill you. Yeah. There was some really interesting commercials with a lot of stars in them. We're not going to watch any of those here, but we are going to watch. I've got 3 trailers in the pipeline for tonight. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the Puppy Bowl Supergirl trailer. We're going to look at the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer and the Project Hail Mary trailer. And I also have Scream 7 queued up just in case we have some extra time if people want to watch that one.
There was another big one. Did you see the Cliff Booth trailer? There's a Cliff Booth trailer.
Is there? Did it come out during the Super Bowl?
It dropped yesterday. I mean, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I assumed it came on during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Maybe. We're going to look at a lot of takes about Bad Bunny. You guys just wait. I've got a whole thing from Reddit that we're going to look at, and we got some numbers. And we're going to talk about the Turning Point USA show. I know that some people may not have an opinion on it. I really want to talk about it. So let me tell you guys why I'm so passionate about this. It isn't just the fact that I think it's important to talk about the concept of the racism involved with this. But as a DJ, music is something I know. I know for a fact that when it comes to popular music, I run circles around every other single content creator in this space. I literally do it for a living. It is part of my job. I'm connected with record labels. I get music early. I know what the people in the clubs are asking for. These are things that I know intrinsically. It's part of what I do. So anything they tell you, I can promise you they don't know better than I do. They might know better than me on some things, but this is one thing that I know none of them know better than me. I've been DJing for 30 years. Trust me, I know a lot better than they do.
Is it okay if I answer Short Car?
Yeah, sure. Which one?
Hey, it's right under the super chat. Short Car asks, Joe, do Sesame Street characters count as Muppets? They absolutely do. They absolutely do. In fact, they were the Muppets before the Muppet Show Muppets were the Muppets. It was Sesame Street featuring Jim Henson's Muppets, because those characters, like all of those puppet characters, it was Jim Henson's act, Jim Henson's Muppets. So they were Muppets. Now, legally, because the name Muppets was sold to Disney and Sesame Street is owned by Sesame Workshop, they can no longer refer to them as the Muppets because Disney owns that name now.
Right.
But they were always, if you get any merchandise from Sesame Street from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, it will say featuring Jim Henson's Muppets. Same thing with Fraggle Rock. It used to say in the opening credits, starring the old HBO show, not the new one. It say in the opening credits, starring Jim Henson's Muppets. Well, but again, that show is owned by the Henson Company. They didn't sell that to Disney. Disney owns the name Muppets. So if you watch Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock, you won't see the word Muppet in the credits anymore. But I actually flat out asked Marty Robinson, who performs Snuffleupagus and Slimy and Telemonster on Sesame Street. I interviewed him and I asked, are we allowed to still call these Muppets? And he said, absolutely. He said, absolutely. They're Muppets. He's like, yeah, no, he's like, legally we can't use that word anymore, but they are Jim Henson's Muppets.
Well, there you go. All right, so topics for tonight. I'll tell you guys what we got in the list here. We're going to talk about Bad Bunny meltdowns because I want to laugh about them. They're really funny. Obviously, the trailer reviews. Melania's people are now saying that they're accusing outlets of review bombing the movie, and this is coming from the same people who don't believe review bombing is a real thing, so that's kind of funny. So we have those in the pipeline and a few other smaller topics. There's some delays from DC that I'm actually happy about, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. Before we do that, before we jump into our first topic, I just want to read off what the goals are for tonight. So 5 super chats. The Reloaded channel will get you one of these 4 options. Now, Joe, I think there's a couple in here that you might be really interested in.
Okay.
So the first one is defend a, in quotes, bad film. So a movie that you know that people always trash as a bad movie, but you love that movie. You have to defend your position.
Yeah, but you see, that creates an ethical dilemma on my part.
Why is that?
Because if it's defend a bad movie, then by defending it, I'm saying it's bad.
No, you could criticize the prompt if you want.
Yeah, because like for example, if Jake were here, he'd say Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, I reject the notion that's a bad movie.
And then you would make it plea for why it's a good movie. That's why it's in quotes. That's why bad is in is in quotes.
Okay.
Wheel of Doom hot takes. Now, what I plan to do here is I would put a bunch of controversial movies in the Wheel of Doom that we spin. We'd spin it around, and then we'd have to give our hot takes about whatever movie it lands on, which I think is kind of funny. DCU Hunger Games with Paigey. Now, this is specifically for like an after party. If this one wins, Paigey and I will do a DCU Hunger Games. Like, if anybody ever remembers Paigey's Arrowverse Hunger Games, it would be like that, but with the DCU. The last one is top 5 best films with bad leads. Meaning that movies that you love, this is very subjective. Movies that you love with lead actors that you are not happy about. Like, you don't like the lead character, you don't like the lead actor, you don't like the storyline for the lead character, anything in the movie about the lead character that you think is bad, but you love everything else about the movie. So that's a tough one. You have to think about that one, because I can think of a couple off the top of my head. I don't want to reveal it here because that's what the category is. So that's in the Reloaded channel. In the Debunks channel, we need 5 super chats, and here are the options. bonus hour added to the Thursday stream. And this is just for me. If anybody wants to stick around, they can. But we normally end at the 2.5 hour mark. If we hit the goal and that gets selected, I will go for an additional hour and we'll do like an AMA. The other one is interactive Chud ranking stream, which is like a tier maker stream where we have the Chuds and then you guys and I will talk about it and rank them. Debate, it's supposed to be debate the channel live stream, meaning, and I know it says Chan there. I don't think there's enough letters much. I truncated it. People can come into the chat. I will post the link to a room, and then anybody can jump in and debate me if they want. And then the last one is Nerdrotic has failed video essay. I've been waiting for that one on a long time. So if you guys pick that one, we'll do that one. Anyway, that's where we are. That's a lot of stuff to get out of the way, but I needed to do all that. Jason, he defends bad movies every time he opens it. That's mean.
I have never once defended a bad movie. I have defended great movies that have been mistakenly referred to as bad, and I have given those people the smackdown and told them they're wrong.
Wow. Speaking of that, Jake, welcome to the stream.
I popped in. I heard Nerdrotic failed. I thought, oh, this should be good.
Oh, we're not doing that tonight. That's a thing for winning the poll and the
sadness.
Can I bring some? Like, here's the thing. Look, I do not want to derail your stream. Okay.
Well, what do you want to respond to? Because as soon as you're done, we'll get into the first topic.
It's not nothing in the chat. Yeah. Nothing in that. This is sort of a non sequitur.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you don't want if this is something you don't want to dive into.
We got about 3 to 4 minutes of free time before we get into the first topic. So go ahead.
All right. I recently did a video, as you know, responding to Steve Arts 89.
Right.
Okay. I had that guy not popping up in my recommendations anymore. I had kind of like don't recommend this channel, but then I watched one and now it's been recommended again. I had to like turn it off and get don't recommend this guy again. He did a video last week. I don't know if you saw this, where he was reviewing Starfleet Academy. Mm-hmm. And here's a gay man. And he criticized them for the pairing of Jet Reno and Thok. Because nobody wants to see those two. And he went on about like how he'd be supportive if they were two hot guys. And I got angry. I'm like, you're a gay man, and you're telling us representation only matters if you can whack off to them.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
But now it makes sense because that's how the other people operate as well. Think about it. They only care about characters that they think are hot. So I mean, that's how that's kind of a cornerstone of the grifty, chuddy space, is that it's whatever they think is sexy or hot, and they can like goon to it pretty much.
Well, I was disgusted, and I'm like, you know what? This guy, I've wasted too much of my energy on this guy, and yeah. I said don't recommend.
Well, I mean, that's why I haven't really like the last time I made a video about him was the last time I responded to him. So
it's the right move.
Yeah. So Jake, how are you doing? You weren't here earlier, so I thought I'd give you a chance to see what's going on with you.
I'm doing all right. Been hanging in there. Been working on a lot, but just trying to cool down a little now.
Okay. Well, I don't know who else is going to show up. We haven't seen Darren in a while. I hope everything's okay with him. I wanted to have him in for a couple of our topics that I know he was interested in.
I saw him yesterday. Seemed to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was still recovering from COVID because I know he had COVID. Right? Wasn't it COVID?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's fine now, though.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and let me pull up my little window here of topics. Where should we start here? You know what? Let's go ahead and start with Star Trek, because I have in one of my titles the Starfleet Academy Cope Sessions Continue, and I really want to talk about this. I figure we can get it out of the way early because it is someone that we've talked about a little bit on the channel here. So we're going to do this. And
did we talk about the last Starfleet Academy?
I did briefly. I don't know if you were on when I talked about it or not.
I'll tell you, I've watched that episode 3 times now. Mm-hmm. I legit cried. Like that episode was so... That one affected me, man.
Yeah. The one about Benjamin Sisko, right?
Yeah. I mean, DS9's my favorite Trek show. And that one, multiple times, they choked me up. I'm like, there were cameos I did not see coming. I was
Right.
like, oh man, my love. That's a perfect episode. Perfect. I can't say it's single negative.
Darren's stream ended about 40 minutes ago. He wasn't by himself, but it went on for a while. Okay. Well,
Oh.
sometimes if he streams for a long time, he's pretty tired. So.
Oh yeah, they were doing after the credits earlier.
So the background. This was one of the first ones I did. I think it was myself and Joe. And we were trying out the new feature with StreamYard where you can create a background in StreamYard. This was one of the ones I made. I just decided to throw it up on the screen. So, but
Nice.
thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so I want to talk about this. This is from Robert Meyer Burnett, someone that I think Jake is also familiar with as well.
Yeah, I've interacted with him before.
Okay, so I don't know who Robert Graham is, but he's got a lot of followers. But it doesn't seem like it's fandom related stuff based on what his profile says.
I never heard of him before.
So let's read this, and then we're gonna read what Robert Meyer Burnett says. Right? It's a lot. Look, it's a lot. Okay. It's talking about Jaden, who is the Klingon, the only Klingon in the Starfleet Academy right now that I know of. I think they even stated that he's the only one that's in Starfleet at the moment because they had to relocate who was the people that were left from the Klingon civilization to a new planet. So he's the only one. All right. So Robert here says, here's an example of I don't know why Starfleet Academy is in quotations here. I mean, wokeness should be in quotations, but anyway, nevertheless. Here's an example of Starfleet Academy wokeness. In episode 4, they're having a high school debate. They pick a topic, then have the students pick the side they want to debate. Goes on to say here, that's not how debate works. Before I even read the rest of this, debating, like academic debating, is different from other forms of debate.
Yeah, you can't really compare those two things.
Yeah, it's completely different stuff. But more on that in a second. Instead, you both study sides of the topic, and then you show up to debate. Your side is assigned randomly. Okay, cool. So in other words, you want the show to reflect modern standards. You want the show to reflect 2026 modernity. You know, that's what you want.
Or this person's approximation of modern standards.
Yes. The idea of debate comes from two key principles of classic liberalism. The first of that is pluralism, in that both sides of any debate divide us are equally legitimate. For example, when presidents lose the election, they give a concession speech. Why is that in quote? Why is concession speech in quotes? What's up, Ronan?
What's up, y'all?
We're reading something about Starfleet Academy, so just get ready for this. But why is that in quotes? I don't understand that. Okay. To make it clear, their supporters that their opponent's win was legitimate. The peaceful transfer of power to the opposition is a cornerstone of modern democracies based on the idea that each side treats a win by their opponents as legitimate. It doesn't mean you like them and won't fight hardware against them. It means you accept the fact that they are legitimate. What that has to do with anything in this episode, I don't know. But then he goes on to talk about Trump because, of course, everything devolves into that when it comes to media now. Doesn't matter if it's music or movies or TV shows. These guys want everything to connect to Donald Trump. That's just the way they're wired now. It says here, Trump is illiberal, obviously. His conspiracy theories about losing in 2020 are unprecedented. The second principle is that of rational thought and critical thinking, you make rational arguments, you support them with facts, and so forth. The winner of the debate is the side making the most rational arguments in their favor and their best attacks of the opponent's arguments. The winner of the debate in which side argues rationally the best, not some fanciful notion of which side is right. This goes back to what I was saying about Starfleet Academy. I don't know if it was last week, which episode it was, we were talking about it, but the Starfleet Academy is a coming of age young adult series. It's not a rigid drama or anything like that. It's about relationships and characters. This is something that I think also affected She-Hulk. Now, I know people on the panels might have different opinions about the show and the quality of the show, but the show was written in a way that it basically highlighted people that have an issue understanding different types of media and what that is. She-Hulk was a comedy. It was a half-hour comedy series set in the MCU. And so Starfleet Academy is very different from any other Star Trek series we've had in live action. The closest thing to Starfleet Academy I think we've had, and I said this before, is Lower Decks. And it's not quite as ridiculous as Lower Decks in some ways, but it does take itself less seriously than other Star Trek properties. And that is by design. That is not a bug, that is a feature of this type of show.
That's a fun quote.
People are ill-equipped. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as a gaming enthusiast, I appreciate that quote.
People are ill-equipped at this. They don't have enough empathy. They can't see an argument from the opponent's point of view. They could never argue the opposite side of it. Now, the problem here is that we know for a fact that in this episode, if anybody watched it, this is it's a study they're doing in school. It's what everybody's talking about. They make it a big deal in the episode to say this is the topic on the news and everybody is talking about it, similar to how politics are for us or any other social issue. So it makes sense that they would want to cover it while it's happening because it is important and it affects Jaden, an actual Klingon in Starfleet. But yeah, go ahead. And also,
the Doctor does not want that to be the topic. The Doctor tries to. It's the class that kind of pressures them into making it the topic. So if he's saying, "Well, you wouldn't choose that," they didn't. Yeah, they had to kind of push the Doctor to allow them to debate that.
And I would say that is also a feature of like coming of age, young adult type shows, is that the kids are the ones that drive the story, not the adults. So the adults are always going to be secondary to whatever the storyline for the younger characters is. That's just the way it works. That's the way those shows are designed. And if you don't understand that, then you're missing the point of the series. And then he goes, both sides, Trumpists and the woke, so now it's the woke, are tearing down our classically liberal institutions. The MAGA right is worse at the moment, but woke left is also pretty bad. I hate fence sitting. I hate this shit. One side is going to be worse to you than the other, and pretending that it's not, especially with polar opposite positions that we have right now, is literally lazy and cowardice. It's just lazy. It is. And I would say if you don't have a side that you're willing to stand up for, then don't talk about it. It's such a lazy argument. He goes, but woke left is also pretty bad, as Starfleet Academy demonstrates. Which, by the way, in this world of Starfleet, there is no MAGA right or woke left. That isn't something that exists in this world. There's no allegory for that on Starfleet Academy. So I'm not even sure why they're talking about it. And then he goes on to say, if I were writing Academy episodes, again, in quotes, why? Why are you putting Academy in quotes?
Well, it is a title.
It is, but that's not that is not the actual title, though. Academy is a truncated title.
That's true.
If he said Star Trek Starfleet Academy in quotes, that's the full title of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
The liberal values is what I teach, such as a student failing to pass a class because they can't empathize with the opposing side. That's the thing. They're not trying to actually do that because it is a show where the any sort of stress or pressure that the characters are dealing with, it's about relationship. That's it. It's not about academics. It's not about war. It's not about politics. It is about the relationships between the characters. Any sort of penalties that they would receive as a character in the show would be learned through relationship loyalty test, struggles, things like that. These shows don't put people in prison for 5 seasons because it's about teaching lessons to a younger generation. That's the point of the show. You let the kids make mistakes, and then the kids learn the lessons from the mistakes. That's how these shows are written. Goes on to say, I trace that empathy all the way down, where in the end, the student learns that while they still support their side, they see the opposing side as not an evil caricature as they thought it was. Where in this episode was there any allegory towards, and Joe, you would know because you probably watched it a couple times. I've watched it a couple times. Where's an allegory towards MAGA and wokeness? No, there's nowhere in this episode.
No, it's not there.
So this makes me wonder if this person even understood the media that they were watching at this point.
Well, you'll find that a lot of them try to pretend to just to give themselves a bit of clout, and it ends up blowing up in their face.
Yeah. All right, so this leads us to the original person here that I was responding to, which is Robert Meyer Burnett, somebody who is actually a Star Trek fan. He is. He's a Star Trek fan.
Is he?
Well, maybe he was. He was a Star Trek fan. I don't know if he still is.
When I met him in 2012, he told me he hated Enterprise. Okay,
Wow.
because it wasn't about anything. It was just about Star Trek. It wasn't about anything. So we know he didn't like Star Trek Enterprise. He told me that.
So it's been 26 years since he's liked anything with Star Trek.
Exactly. He didn't like the J.J. Abrams movies. He didn't like Discovery. He doesn't like Strange New Worlds. This is a guy who hasn't liked Star Trek since Voyager, at least. So
Why are we been stalking anything this dude says?
Well, I'm gonna say here what the problem is. So, by the way, Dane, if you're free, you can jump in. The link is in the mod chat, and I think you're a mod on the Discord, right? Let me double check. Yeah, I think you are. If you want to jump in, you totally can. It's entirely up to you. If not, you can chill out. It's just good to see you. Shout out to Dane.
I've never met Dane in person. I encourage him to join the chat. I never actually spoke to Dane.
So Robert Meyer Burnett here says, this pretty much sums up everything wrong with Kurtzman's intellectually dishonest version of Trek. I don't even know what that sentence means. An intellectually dishonest version of Trek? How do you call something... Intellectually dishonest would be someone doing something. It's not a blanket statement about a series. That doesn't make any sense. Also, this sums it up. This is it? This is your argument? That they don't debate the way they debate in modern times? That's his issue with it? He goes, although I leave the word woke out of it, the points are salient. Now, my issue here, and this is why I'm even talking about this, is these are the same guys that complain about media not catering to modern sensibilities. Remember? These guys don't like modern audience. That's their big issue, is they don't want things that look and feel like modern day. If it's a science fiction show, it needs to feel like a science fiction show. The stories don't need to be direct one-for-one to things that happen in modern times. But here's Robert Meyer Burnett going, hey, this guy is complaining that this show isn't doing things exactly the way they do them right now. And therefore, that's a problem.
Who's this clown to say what's right and wrong?
I mean, he's somebody with a platform. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he doesn't have he's not the end-all, be-all of Star Trek. You're absolutely right. But he has a platform. And so that's what makes it so dangerous.
He's not the one making the stuff, so...
And he never will be.
In the day, what goes isn't never going to be his call.
In a little bit, we're going to talk about why people like Robert Meyer Burnett and people on this side of the spectrum have no real say in this, because they're not creative people. They don't understand what creative is. This is why this Robert Graham guy is going, I'm going to ignore all of the artistic elements of Starfleet Academy and the storytelling, and I'm going to pedantically narrow in on the fact that the students chose the debate position instead of being assigned the debate position, and I'm going to create an entire narrative around why that's such a big problem for this entire series. That's what happened here. Think about what we just talked about. He just didn't like that the students got to pick their positions. And then he wrote a long-ass tweet about wokeness and Trumpism and all this other shit. And this is why when people ask me why we can't get away from talking about politics and media, this is why. This is the problem. Because I can't log into social media without somebody bringing politics into it, modern politics, into anything. And so then we have to talk about it because it's something that's happening in front of our faces. It's just really fucking annoying. Nothing in this episode had anything to do with Trump or wokeness or anything like that. It was about resettling people from the Klingon community. I would say he isn't, though. He's not anymore. If he sums up every problem he has with Kurtzman's take on Star Trek based on this tweet, I feel like he might have been faking the funk in the past. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't put it past the guy.
Now, Joe, you actually you were someone who was fond of Robert Meyer Burnett before all of this happened, right?
Robert Meyer Burnett, long before he was doing YouTube, he made a movie in 1998 called Free Enterprise. I don't know how many people on the panel have seen the movie, but it's about two guys in their early 30s who are obsessed with Star Trek. I saw that movie when I was, just under 30. I was obsessed with Star Trek, and I watched this movie, and I recognized myself in it. Mm-hmm. And my best friend, the two main characters reminded me of ourselves. And that movie meant a lot to me. I'm like, this movie is so personal to me. I get this movie. I understand this movie. I understand these characters. And I have, signed by Robert Meyer Burnett, William Shatner, and Phil Lamar, and Deborah Van Valkenburg, a poster for the movie Free Enterprise hanging in the upstairs hallway of my room. It was given to me by Robert Meyer Burnett in person. So I was a huge fan of his. And he has really let me down lately. Like, of all the chuddy stuff we see lately, it's his stuff that kind of hurts the most, because I really liked this guy. Yeah. And I feel he knows better.
Oh, the old saying, never meet your heroes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
technically he was fine when I met him. It was after I met him that he went off the deep end.
Yeah.
Oh, it was probably because you met him.
Yeah. Damn. All right, but my whole let me move there. My whole thing is, if you don't like it, move on. The old stuff still exists. There are cartoons that I love from the 80s that I will go back and watch because I'm not into whatever the new version is. But I don't care that the new version exists. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I've been trying to tell people that you want the old stuff, go watch the old stuff. It's not going anywhere. I've tried to tell that to people about so many different franchises and forms of media, and you might as well talk to a wall for all the good it's going to do.
Yeah. We did have a super chat on the Debunks channel, so we're 1 out of 5. Me, Master OG, with a $5 super chat. I was an F&T acolyte, but I quickly realized their fan base was made of 13K depressed Republicans.
That's a lot of Republicans.
Well, I like depressed Republicans. That's pretty funny. Your boy Zach was right. F&T is a slimy misery magnet. That is true. That is true. The thing that really bothers me about all this, and this is probably slightly off the path here, is I have family members that are conservative, and many of them would identify themselves as Republican over the years. And we never really fought about stuff. We always joked about politics and things like that, but we never really truly fought about stuff. And then MAGA came in, and almost all of them immediately became the most hateful people I've ever known. And they've alienated other conservative people who are not MAGA. They won't even talk to them anymore. So I feel like it's the extremism aspect of it. And I know some people go, oh yeah, but actually there's people like that on both sides. No, I don't know anybody. I know a lot of people in my family who are more progressive that allowed those folks to be as hateful as they are for a long time before they stopped talking to them.
Yeah. I know friends and potential relatives that lean that way. And I always, when I encounter them, I tell them, remember where you're from. Remember that, like, as much as you want to pretend you are this image you cultivated, remember where you're from. And especially when I see people, white or Native American that swing that way, I tell them, woof, remember, there's a lot of blood in your ancestry. There's a lot of that stuff. And I tell people, like, remember where you're from, because, and listen, I have my issues with some of the stuff Obama. I was, look to him as president as hope. But I have issues with what he did with his administration. But I remember a quote he always said, unless you're Native American, you came from someplace else. And I remember being like, the fact that someone like that said that, and people tend to, we live in the revisionist era of revisionist history. And I was like, no, don't forget where a lot of this stuff traces back to. And like, it's very ironic and hypocritical in this day and age. A lot of hypocrisy is spreading.
And Ronan, I would say it's very healthy to criticize presidents or anybody that's elected. I think there is no one president or elected official that I like 100% that I've been like, oh yeah, they're perfect. There's no reason to criticize them. But if you ask anybody right now who is massively MAGA, they will have nothing negative to say about Trump, and that's crazy to me.
Well,
Yeah.
just because someone's sitting in that chair doesn't mean they're immune to criticism. I mean,
No, I
you
agree
looked
with
our
you.
past?
Like, there are lots of things. I don't want to get too political because we're moving on to Supergirl after this, but I feel like I do have to get this out.
Sorry. I don't want to get too political, so let's move on to something that the internet's been tearing apart because.
Well, yes, true, but I feel like this is a bit more political.
I say that in jest before anybody in the comments gets their panties in a knot.
I would say that my favorite modern president has been Obama, but Obama still was not a perfect president. I did not like Joe Biden, but Joe Biden wasn't Trump, and Trump has been the worst president we've had in modern times. Maybe in all times. I don't know.
I honestly am shocked you're saying maybe of all times.
I said in my video the other day I'm just looking at what's happening. I think he is the worst president we've ever had. It's in his second term specifically. First term wasn't good either, but the second one has been a lot worse.
Eric, what about those $2,000 stimulus checks? Oh, wait.
What about the $5,000 checks? What about the other stuff that we're supposed to be getting? None of that has happened.
In the entire history of our country, no president has ever attempted an insurrection before.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so Serenity, I actually did like a lot of what Michelle did. But as First Lady, you're not scrutinized quite as much as the president, I don't think. But,
no. And again, ironic with the lot of stuff that matters to me the most, I was a teenager. I had just become a teenager when he became president. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Things are changing. I remember telling my dad, I'm like, man, I think things are going to change.
We'll have to talk more about this when we get to the Bad Bunny stuff, too, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about that, too. So.
Oh, boy.
Can I answer Inkshi?
I can answer it, Trump.
Yeah. You know what? Say as much as bad as you want to say about Nixon, he had enough humility to know to resign.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's the issue we have right now is everybody surrounding Trump's orbit. Oh my God, I'm getting on a soapbox here. Yeah. Everybody surrounding Trump's orbit has no shame and no standards. Therefore, all they're going to do is continue to let these things happen and nothing will come of it. We're talking about the Epstein stuff right now. Literally the biggest thing for me is getting justice for the people that were hurt in that situation with Epstein. And we have Ghislaine Maxwell, however she pronounced her fucking name, who pled the fifth just either, I think it was today or yesterday, it might have been today, where she would not answer any questions and said she will, if she's allowed to be pardoned by Trump, she will answer questions, but then she will also defend Trump and Clinton. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't want you to defend any of them.
It's ironic that this question was posed because, again, I can see the linkage back to Nixon. Like, that was the first time that, like, we lost a big trust in our government. And when I mean we, I mean anybody who, I'll put it this way, anybody who is white. People of color have been scrutinized since the get-go, but, like, that was the first time that, you know, even white folks were like, whoa, what? Our system could be criminal? And it's fascinating that linkage is all the way back to Nixon. And again, what Henry Kissinger did in those days. Then you link up to a Bush, and then look what Dick Cheney did back in his days. And then you look now, and you look at Donald with his goons. You got Stephen Miller, you have Christine Noem. It's like it's the usual suspects.
Yeah.
The usual suspects.
I want to say shout out to Phil in the chat, by the way.
Same way.
Oh yeah,
Felipe.
What's up, Phil?
What's up, Phil? Good to see you. All right. We got a couple super chats, and then we're going to look at Supergirl. I have some thoughts on this trailer. I know John Campea was pretty negative on it.
When isn't John Campea negative?
Well, we're going to watch. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, so we'll look at that, and then we're also going to look at I think it's a crypto poster. All right. $2 super chat from Forget Me Not 182 says opinion on Chud saying anime taking over comics. Do you mean manga taking over comics or anime? I mean, you can kind of combine them together, so I'll just assume you're kind of meaning like all of it. It's just a different version of the same medium, right? Like it's all printed superhero fantasy stuff.
I mean, to Phil's point in the chat, manga is a form of comics, so
yeah. It's yeah. I mean, the Chuds are saying that because they need something to attack comic books. So they're like, let's find something that I can use to attack comic books, and then that'll be the thing that I use as a weapon against Western media.
They say, oh, we don't have any solid ground, so we'll just make some up.
Yeah. Staggervore, member for 4 months. Good to see you, Staggervore. Thank you for being a channel member. Happy Monday, everyone. Great Super Bowl last night. I'm not a big sports person, but people were shocked that the Seahawks beat the Patriots. So
I was shocked at the lack of touchdowns for the first quarter. I was like, damn, are we just going for field goals? And yeah.
It reminded me of the time that I just kind of bowed out on sports because I've been out of it for about a decade now, or at least out of football ever since the Panthers-Broncos game. It was a similar sort of game. And even though I was on the opposing team that night, I felt bad for Peyton Manning. I'm thinking, this is the game he's going to retire on? This is depressing.
Yeah. We got a $5 super chat from Naruto. Not sure how many of you are Power Rangers fans. Well, I know Lance is if he's in the chat. But as of last night, oh yes, Super Sentai has officially ended after 51 years on air.
That's
so I'm not a massive Power Rangers fan. I don't think that Joe is either, right? Power Rangers.
I've never watched it.
So Jake or Ronan, if both of you are, what do you think about this? How does this like work? How is it affecting the Power Rangers community? I should ask.
I like Power Rangers. I'm not a big fan of it though. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely felt the impact, like after it being on the air that long, but it wasn't one of those things that, that had like a tragic ending. It's like, oh no, we're not going to get it anymore. It felt like it had more than run its course. But, with all the different forms of Power Rangers media that we've got over the years, that's one of the better things about it that I almost think blends into the same sort of conversation as comics. Because there's so many different versions of it, you've got something for everybody.
Right. Okay. I'll be curious to see what Lance has to say because I'm sure that it'll be discussed on the Party Nation.
Yeah. Or more likely on the Ranger Nation show that he does.
Oh, that's right. But he's got to wait a whole week to talk about it. So,
yeah.
All right, we got a $2 super chat from Cartoon49, bringing us to 3 out of 5 on Debunks. We're 3 out of 5 on Debunks and 2 out of 5 on Reloaded. So Debunks is beating Reloaded in super chats right now. Fave horror movie in the past decade. Mine is Get Out. Does anybody have a favorite horror movie from the last 10 years?
That's a good one.
Does Get Out count, actually?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 2020. Isn't that like 2017? So I mean, it is.
Oh, well, yeah. Let me look at the 10-year thing so I can remember this because I'm having trouble remembering the 10-year spot. Go ahead.
If it does line up within the past 10 years, I think Annihilation. It's kind of horror, but like it creeped the shit out of me. In that experience, Alex Garland as usual. It's another one.
One that sticks out of my mind is the one I saw 2 weeks ago. I got to be honest.
Send Help? Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I wouldn't have thought it was a horror movie myself.
I don't remember if it was within the 10 years. Does the more recent Invisible Man count as a horror movie?
That was 2020.
Okay, that would be mine then. I love that movie. It was really good.
I might agree with that. That might be mine too. I was going to initially say I Saw the TV Glow. I Saw the TV Glow, but it might be Invisible Man.
And I was going to say, what is that? Fuck. Hold on. Let me think.
Quiet Place?
No. Skinamarink? Is that the movie with like the weird no words or whatever? Is that what it's called?
I didn't see that one.
Hold on, let me see. See. Yes, it is. It's Skinamarink. That's it. I couldn't remember the full name of it because there was like a short film for it. That one is more of like it is not really horror because there's not a lot of like horror elements, but it's more suspenseful. But I guess you classify it as horror. So I would say Invisible Man, and that one would be in my top 2 for sure.
Heretic is also really good.
Yes. That one scene in the car, we're not going to talk about it, but that one scene in the car is pretty fucking bad. All right, we got a $10 super chat from Lone Wolf. So now we're 3 out of 5 in both. It's a race, a head-to-head race to get to the confetti. The older we get, the more we become aware it exactly works and not works for us. That doesn't make you bitter or overly optimistic. You're just becoming more in tune with your palate. The older we get, the more...
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's a fair statement for sure.
No,
100%.
I mean, whenever I see like a movie that I don't like these days, for example, like I'll give a recent example. I walked out of Superman. I was like, hey, this wasn't for me, but if it was for you, great. Happy for you.
It was for Joe. It was made specifically for Joe.
Well, but my point is that if there are people that liked it, great. I didn't like that, and the world still keeps spinning.
Actually, Jake, I think the movie made specifically for Joe was Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that was made for Joe for sure.
I do love that movie.
Whereas, Jake, I think that for you, hold on, let me think of a movie that was made for you, in my opinion.
I'm gonna be curious what you say here.
Probably the first Hulk movie. Didn't you like that one? Wasn't that one of your favorites? The Ang Lee Hulk movie?
I don't know if I say it's one of my favorites. It's my favorite Hulk movie that we've gotten, at least in live action, because my favorite Hulk movie, period, is Planet Hulk.
Phil swinging in going, Superman 2025 is by far one of the worst superhero films I've ever watched, and I've watched a lot of them.
Well, respectfully,
there are some good ones.
I say this respectfully as possible. I've been on panels with Phil, and he has a lot of bad takes.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh. Inkshi says Thor: Love and Thunder was a crime, not a movie.
Oh, I did not have enough to drink during that movie.
All right, so here we are. We're going to get to the Supergirl trailer here. And let me add it to stage. And since we're watching a trailer, I'll leave it like this. Because I added this one in for fun. But this is okay for reading articles. I think for watching trailers, it's better to have us all on the same side, I believe. All right, here we go. This is the Supergirl Puppy Bowl trailer, which has people complaining, just like the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer has people complaining. So, let's see. The only part that was new was like the beginning part of it, right?
Yeah, that's what we said the other night. Everything else was the exact same.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't make a video on it. I was like, it's pretty much.
I mean, he's dirty in that shot.
All right.
You compare that to how he looked in Superman, and he was like, very well kept. And it's not the case here.
So, what are our thoughts on this now that we've seen it? Any opinions? Because I know
I like dogs.
It's not worth the whole reaction, but yeah.
I'm pumped for this movie. I'm pumped for it.
I'm excited for the movie, but I only have one complaint.
What's that?
Puppy Crypto. He looks really fake.
He looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, like when I watched the first Superman trailer, people kept telling me Crypto's CGI, and I didn't believe them. I kept saying, no way, that's a real dog. Like, he looked real. He did not look CGI. In this, he looks CGI.
Yeah. I will say, for me, I don't know if this is going to convince people that watch the first trailer to go and see the movie, because so much of the first trailer is just in this trailer. I feel like this is the puppy aspect of it could have just been a teaser, right? Because the trailer part we'd already seen. However, over on Twitter, the Puppy Bowl outperformed the Kid Rock halftime show, more than doubling its viewership with 12.8 million viewers.
Of course, Puppies versus Kid Rock. Of course it did.
Yeah, I just thought I'd
amazing.
It doesn't take much to outdo Kid Rock.
I do want to pull up. They did have a poster. I think I bookmarked it, of Crypto as a puppy, which is adorable. But even here in this poster, it's very cartoony, right? Wouldn't you guys agree? This is very cartoony.
Oh yeah.
Poster. Okay.
I hope they sharpen it up before the movie comes out.
Yeah, my only concern is this is a promo poster, so I'm feeling like this might be the finished version of him as a because we might not be seeing him as a puppy for very long. I mean, he might just might just be the beginning where she meets him, and then we fast forward to where they are today.
I'm more excited for this than I was before Superman.
I don't want to be negative about this, but I do have something to say, and I'm trying to find a way to say it that isn't bad because I'm excited for this movie.
People might think that out of this poster is an anime movie.
Yeah. Yeah. This is still my most anticipated movie of the year, then probably Doomsday and Spider-Man, right? Those are my three.
Okay. I can see that.
I really, really, really want to see this movie. So I'm saying that now before what I'm going to say, because what I'm going to say is going to sound, I guess, negative about it.
Oh boy.
I think they need to rein in the advertising these movies with animals. You know what I mean? Like, it's starting to feel like a gimmick, and I don't want the DCU to become a gimmick. Is that fair?
I can get that. I can kind of get that. Yeah.
I can't agree with that only because I'm like, give me all the dogs. I want all the dogs. I want the Green Lantern movie to bring.
I don't want it to be the DC pet universe. You know what I mean?
I literally was about to joke that watch the Lantern Caesar have like a dog with Howard and John.
I mean, watch them introduce fucking Dexstar in the Lantern series.
I want Nort. Give me Nort.
I don't know. I'm excited for Supergirl. Crypto is cool, but Crypto isn't the selling point for me.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not the selling point. I feel like the next movie, mark my words, after Man of Tomorrow, it's probably going to be a Crypto movie.
I think they'll just do kind of like what Marvel did with Groot and just give Crypto a series of shorts.
I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that,
now
100%.
See, my wife is disappointed that they didn't bring in Streaky the Super Cat for this one.
I would have liked the Super Cat.
And
cool.
I am relieved they didn't bring in Comet the Super Horse, because that horse was having sex with Supergirl.
Oh my god.
I'm not making that up. It's canon.
Oh my god. No, but look,
just give me Ace the Bat Hound, and
come back here in a year when they are like, oh, we're gonna do a Crypto Super movie. I'm sure that'll be something we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm still excited for this movie. It's still my number one film. I also think it's really funny. I see a couple people in the chat talking about this. I don't think that it's, and I'm not saying the internet has to be fair. I don't think it's right to be like, you can only say good things about something that you're excited for. I think that's a very toxic way of looking at stuff. As long as I'm not bashing it for something completely, like saying, oh, it's a woman or there's gay people in it, I think it's a fair take to go, I'm not excited for Crypto as much as I'm excited for Supergirl in the Supergirl movie. I don't think that's a hot
fair.
take. I don't think that's a hot take.
That's fair. Yeah.
I
like Crypto.
You're allowed to have criticisms.
I like Crypto, and I felt the same way in the book. I was like, I like Crypto, but also it's Kara's story. It's her
I
that
actually
I'm intrigued by.
One of the biggest damages that have been done to the internet space when it comes to movie criticism is expecting people to glaze everything.
Or,
you know what I mean?
just when they're a fan of it, or when it's something they like, it's misinterpreted.
I have been on the front lines for Supergirl, making video after video after video, and then people are like, "Oh, but you don't want to see the dog? You're just a hater." You know what I mean? Like, what kind of dumb shit is that?
That's what I've been feeling. You know, and we'll talk about it later when we get to the Mandalorian and Grogu stuff. But I have specific thoughts on that ad and the approach towards it. And I was like, I have my thoughts on it. But like, yeah, it's always. I always tell people, like, even when I don't like something and I talk about that now I'm not liking it, I'm not gonna start dropping 5 videos across 5 days telling you why I'm right and you're wrong.
Right, exactly. That's a really good point, Ronan. I'm not gonna make a video going, Ronan. I'm not gonna make a video go that Crypto is going to ruin Supergirl. Like, that's not a video I'm gonna make. You know
no. I got shit to do.
Right. Just like what you like, don't like what you don't like. But you don't have to be an asshole to somebody because they either like something you don't, or you don't like something they do. Just have your own fucking opinion and move on with your life.
I agree. Yeah, and if somebody tells me they're going to see the movie because of Crypto, great, wonderful. That doesn't bother me.
Did you see? Not to throw it back, but it is relevant. Did you see what Robert Picardo said about the Star Trek Starfleet Academy critics on Twitter recently?
I mean, he said a few things. Which one are you talking about?
He said that back when Voyager was on, there were critics who didn't like the show and they just didn't watch the show. He said modern day fandom, it's not only that you don't like something, it's that you have to convince everyone else that they shouldn't like it either.
That's absolutely 100% true. Yeah, because I don't care if people want to go see the movie because of Crypto. I'm not even saying that. That's not even my take on it. Like Jay Bird here, this is valid. I used to like Eric, but then he said he didn't like a dog in a trailer. Now he's my arch nemesis. Okay, that's valid. That's valid, Jay Bird, 100%.
Oh, Eric, you've made an enemy tonight.
I know. It's too much. I think Crypto looks adorable. I think he's a very fun character. I really enjoyed his energy with Supergirl at the end of Superman, which I've said repeatedly. I think I've got enough good graces about me when it comes to this movie that I can say I don't want Krypto to be the main selling feature of the Supergirl movie.
Hot take. The 3 live action versions of Krypto that we've gotten, which is weird to think we've gotten 3. And I won't say exactly why, because I want Ronan to see this for himself. Even though we get the least amount of screen time from Krypto and Superman and Lois, I still prefer that over the other 2 versions.
I think the Superman and Lois version looks more like the one that people most recognize from the comic books.
It's not there for long, but I got more out of it in just that little bit than I did in either Titans or Superman.
I will admit, though, Krypto as a mascot is going to sell a lot of merch for DC.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be the...
That's 100% for sure. That's going to sell a lot of merch for DC.
It's going to be the group that all over again.
I already own a Krypto t-shirt from the Superman movie.
Yeah. So I'm not doubting that. I mean, definitely, look, the reason why they went back to the Puppy Bowl is because it worked for Superman last year. Which, by the way, I think it's funny. A lot of people, I'm going to drop this down for a second while I talk about this, and then we'll talk about something else. But a lot of people got mad because I was talking so much truth about the whole Netflix Superman comment that happened last week in the comment section. A lot of coping about it.
Oh, with friggin'
with Ted Sarandos and
Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
It's so funny to me that people were mad about that. I actually I debated someone in IRL about this. And I told them, I said, so your standard is that if a movie is released before the 45-day window, it is certified a flop or an underperforming movie. That is your stance on this. And they said, yes, that's the stance because that's what theatrical windows are. First of all, that's dumb. That's really dumb.
Insane.
Secondly, Minecraft movie came out in 39 days under Warner Brothers.
Did you see the Harsh Critics video on that?
No.
He's like, you guys are trying to bring up Minecraft and Jurassic Park. Nobody mentioned those, and it's like, so what? So what? Nobody mentioned them. It's the same thing whether you mention them or not.
Yeah. Minecraft came out in 39 days, and it still went on to make almost $1 billion. So the whole point is Ted Sarandos was just saying what he needed to say to make this deal happen. That's all that was. He was trying to commit to a 45-day window, and he used 2 very recognizable movie titles to do it: Superman and Sinners.
But then people took that comment and ran with it. They went, oh, so he's saying that Superman underperformed because of this. If you'd read for more than 5 fucking seconds, he'd know that's not what was said.
But those guys are so...
Doesn't mean I agree with what was said, but people love to take that stuff, like, you give them an inch and they run a mile with it.
I conceded that somebody that didn't take in the full context could misunderstand what he was saying. But once you look up all of the context, there's no way you can misunderstand what he's saying.
So, once you look up all the context, but also, there are too many people out there that choose to be purposefully ignorant about these things. They go, I'm not going to look into this because it's too much work to read a damn article. I'm instead going to sound like an idiot in an attempt to gain clout.
Staggervore, the $4.99 super chat. This brings us to 4 out of 5 super chats and Reloaded, and 3 out of 5 at Debunked. So Reloaded is pulled ahead ever so slightly. Ace and Krypto were the only DC pets to appear in the DC animated universe. Is that true?
Well, not in the Super Pets movie.
In the Timverse, you mean?
I was going to say there was a Super Pets movie with a lot of characters.
So
in it.
It's a good movie too.
I think they're talking about the Timverse, like BTAS, Justice League, Superman, all that stuff. And to that point, I think they're correct.
Yeah, this sounds right.
I don't remember because when they went to Oa in Justice League, I don't think there were any pet lanterns there. So,
what's the name of the cat from Young Justice that hangs out with the Chaos Lord?
I
can't remember. Does anybody know the name of the cat? That cat was the best.
I never finished it. Young
Tickle, something like that.
Yeah.
Tickle.
Yeah. So good. All right, so we got a delay from DC, and for once, I think this is actually a good thing. So let's take a look at what's been delayed. DC Studios' Clayface has been delayed from September 11th, which was a cursed date for any sort of movie release, to October 23rd, 2026.
I'm just kind of glad they moved it off that, if nothing else, but moving it to like right before Halloween is
thank you, Jake. That's exactly what I was saying. This is a move that makes
should have done from the beginning.
Total sense to me. This is going to help this movie so much in terms of advertising. It's a body horror movie. It's coming out right before Halloween. This is the perfect thing for them to do. This delay makes sense to me in every possible way. Does anybody disagree? What are your thoughts on it? Because I know some people have opinions about Clayface that aren't particularly good. But
no, logic. This makes sense. Yeah. Lean into the Halloween aspect. Lean into the horror aspect. Like, own those 2 weeks in the cinemas of like, you want to hang out in the movie theater to see a horror movie? Come and join the DC Studios. We got a creepy side to us.
It's going to be a long Halloween.
I think it's a mostly good move.
Hey.
I do think this should be a Halloween movie, but I think 23rd is maybe they're not giving themselves enough breathing room. I think should be a week earlier because then they could kind of dominate October.
What are they going up against? I don't think there's a lot of big movies in October, right? Because the Avatar movie's now streaming. Yeah. So
right.
So we're not going to have much competition.
What comes out around this time?
There's got to be a horror movie coming out, like a legit horror movie. Not to say Clayface.
Oh, doesn't Scream come out in October?
No, Scream comes out in 2 weeks. Just bought my tickets tonight.
Oh, well, that's good then. That's
October
good.
2026. Then 28 years. Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. That's going to be.
Dracula. Strangers Chapter 3.
Does anyone think Street Fighter is going to do anything though?
I don't know if it'll do anything, but I think it's overlapped audience with Clayface.
Well, I mean, look at what happened last year. They moved a fighting game movie out of October to make room for others, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again.
Yeah. We got a $5 super chat from Lone Wolf that says Clayface moving to October is really smart move. It's fitting. I was hoping for October. So was Boba. I think it's a genius idea, honestly. Has Boba talked about this at all? And if he has, what does he think about it? Because I know Boba covers has covered this movie pretty extensively. I think this is a really good move for them. Like you said, Joe, I could even see a slightly earlier release, but I think ultimately this is a better spot for the movie. Just in general, would everybody kind of agree on that?
Yeah,
sure.
It looks like Terrifier 4 might be coming out in October.
Oh, really?
Like, I just did a quick Google search and that came up. Social Reckoning, the sequel to The Social Network.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so all right, well that's a pretty interesting move. I think it's for the best though. All right, so we have hit the goal in the Reloaded chat. Thank you guys so much. Remember to vote on the poll. We have some really interesting ones. Let's go over them one more time before we move to our next topic, because I don't think that Jake or Ronan were here. We went over these. You get to choose between these four. Defend a quote-unquote bad film, meaning a movie that you love, that you think is good, or you believe is good, or you can defend it as being good, that a lot of people think is bad. Okay? Wheel of Doom hot takes. Basically, I'll put a bunch of controversial movies on the wheel. We'll spin it, and then people will be able to give their hot takes on it. A DCU Hunger Games with Pagey. That's a Pagey-only stream. If you guys want us to do that, you can vote on that. The other is top 5 best films, but with bad lead characters, bad lead actors, or bad lead storylines.
So all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Well, I mean, could you argue Jared Leto was bad in Tron Ares because he was the lead character?
I mean, depends what we mean by bad.
That's why I left it open to interpretation.
Because like he's a bad dude, but he actually gave a good performance in the movie.
So guys, keep voting on that. We're still 3 out of 5 in the debunks. So 2 more super chats of any level over there will score a win. Big Fieldy says, I can't wait to hear Joe on bad films. Everybody's excited to hear Joe.
Yeah, again, I will never defend a bad film.
Joe's like, I only defend good films. What are you talking about? Let's see here. Where's it at? No, we've already looked at that one.
You know what Mr. Lobo says? Mr. Lobo says there's no such thing as bad movies, only misunderstood.
Oh, that's funny. Speaking of movies, possibly bad movies that I thought was quite interesting that people told me was bad, but I had a good time with it, was The Wrecking Crew on Prime. Have you guys seen that yet?
I heard mixed things. I haven't seen it myself.
It's kind of a typical sort of 90s type film, but it's got Batista and Momoa, and both of them kind of play themselves. Oh, I thought it was okay. All right, we're going to watch the trailer for Project Hail Mary. I haven't. This is the one that I haven't seen yet.
You know, there's 2 movies I'm really psyched about that are both opening on my birthday weekend, and this is one of them. Mm-hmm. The other's Ready or Not 2.
Okay.
They're both the same weekend.
By the way, before we watch this one, did anybody like the first trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I saw footage of it at Comic-Con, and what I saw, like, whoo, might be a hit. This might be a hit.
Jake, did you not like it?
I didn't hate it.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
I was nonchalant take.
I mean, I was, honest to God, I was just fine with it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what this trailer does for everybody. Here we go. The alien's so early in a trailer.
From what I've heard, he's not a plot twist in the book. Like, he's introduced very early in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Reminded me a little bit of Event Horizon with this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, when I said I was like just fine with it, that doesn't mean that I'm like was disappointed or anything, or it let me down. It's just I got all I needed to look forward to the movie. Mm-hmm. So, hope that makes sense.
Joe, what was going on?
It went full robot mode. You know, like all I was like it freeze framed on the Rocky, mm-hmm. and all I was hearing was robotic sound. And I had to refresh my screen.
Chat, give a slice of pizza if you're going to see this, and throw a tomato if you're not. I'm very curious to what people are thinking about this. We did get a super chat while that was playing from South Texas Shark. It says, highly recommend to read the book. So I meant to ask, is this like a graphic novel, or is it like a regular novel?
Regular novel.
It's from the same author who wrote The Martian.
Oh, okay. All right. Definitely check that out. Thank you, South Texas Shark. That puts us at 4 out of 5 in the debunks. Chat. A lot of pizza slices. Serenity through a tomato. All right.
There's a lot of shit coming out this year, so I'm just going to have to pick and choose.
Harrison with the pizza slices. Lone Wolf. Dalton throwing some pizza. So I like the trailer. I think this trailer is appealing to people that want to know more about, because that first trailer was a little, I don't want to say confusing, but it was a bit more ambiguous about what was going on. This one kind of tells you the setup for the movie. I would argue, without reading the book, and anybody that's read the book, maybe they can tell me otherwise, but I would argue it tells a little bit too much about the movie for my particular taste.
I haven't read the book.
Oh, look who's in here. Name you recognize, Joe? I love The Martian.
Oh, this guy was in Max's stream the other day. Somebody trolling Sean.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got here? We got another trailer. I think there was another one, right?
Was there?
There was the Adventures of Cliff Booth teaser.
Just curious, what's everybody more excited about? The Project Hail Mary or Ready or Not 2?
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary for me.
See, I think I'd go with Ready or Not 2. Because Ready or Not 1 was one of my favorite movies the year it came out.
All right. We got the Mando and Grogu trailer as well. Now, this is the one I haven't seen much of this at all except still photos.
I mean,
but people are pretty much talking shit about it.
In fairness, there isn't much. So.
Before I watch
I don't want to. Yeah, I'll get into it once we watch it because you keep reverting it to one way. I'm like, there's another way to refer to it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch it without knowing much other than a couple of still photos, and here we go.
Watch Eric just fucking fly off the handle.
All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous because of the fact that I know so many people had negative things to say about it. All right.
Sometimes we choose our path. Other times the path chooses us. Through it all, we keep pushing forward, driven by a deeper purpose, guided by an unseen force. The journey never gets any easier. The bond just gets harder to break. This is the way.
Only in theaters and IMAX, May 22nd.
Oh, okay, hold on. Before anybody says anything, did people really not understand what this is supposed to be?
I think the problem is that people expected a trailer, like a full length.
Right.
In my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. It is a parody of a beer commercial.
Yeah. The spoof. Yeah.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
No. I'm saying like I wanted to say it out loud before people thought that I didn't understand it. Yeah, I totally get it now that I've seen it.
It's a parallel to the old Budweiser commercials.
Yeah. So what's the issue? Is it because they wanted because this to me looks like it was made specifically for this commercial.
Yeah. People are joyless. They can't enjoy something that is fun. This is delightful, but people can't enjoy that.
Hearing Sam Elliott say this is the way was not on my bingo card for the year, but I'm cool with it.
But here's the thing. Because I have thoughts that this is its own thing. I like it. It's cute. I was like, okay, I get that. I remember seeing these beer commercials as a kid. I get that. And to be quite frank, they don't need to sell me. I'm going to this movie.
I'm going to see it anyway. Right. So this ad isn't for me, really.
I'm going there. Thing is, I can't ignore the notion that I've been hearing that like people don't know there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, and they're going, "Huh? Like there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, and like when does it come out? Oh, in a few months." And again, I really liked that first teaser we got for the movie, but I remember like I was watching, I was like, "Wow, a lot of people weren't into it," and I was like, "You would expect that when you're 4 months away, you come in swinging with a big trailer and be like, guess what? Star Wars is coming back to cinemas. Be there or be square." And this felt for me like a missed opportunity. This felt, especially hearing that so many companies pulled out. It's like, okay, it's open field. Whoever makes a big statement, people are gonna know about this. And I don't know. Again, as its own thing, I liked it. It was fun. It was cute, but I see the outskirts or the I guess the meta is like you missed an opportunity here to really start the marketing push for it. And I saw people were like, "Is this part of the movie?" And like, no, I highly doubt this is part of the movie.
I don't.
Now
I
could be wrong.
I don't know if this is like it might be something referencing a scene in the movie, but I don't know if this is actually from the movie.
I mean, we haven't seen the Tauntauns since Empire. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they got me with that. I'm like, ooh, Tauntauns, but like. People will be like, "Oh, wait, is this a movie or is this just a commercial or is this a TV show?" And that's the thing I have worried with this going into it. Now, granted, it's not my money, it's not my company, but I want the momentum going into this movie being like, "Fucking Star Wars is back, man."
I want to show this ad. I'll let you guys speak for a second, but I want to show this ad to the people in the chat that don't understand what they're referencing. I'm going to show you an example of what they're referencing.
All right, you're about to take me back down memory lane here.
Here's a 1986 Budweiser commercial.
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdale has been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste that only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste. Because this Bud's for you.
See, this is what they were doing.
Watch
Exactly.
this probably not get copyright, but the Supergirl trailer will.
Maybe.
And listen, I know what Joe's saying about some people aren't fun or they're heartless. I get that, but I also like if it's weird because it's ironic that like Doomsday already has 4 mini stories or quote unquote teasers, the way or clues, if you will. Those have been saying they already have 4 of those out, and the movie is a year away. There's already enough push for that movie already that if they didn't release anything, I'm like, that's enough. That's already that's enough to like sip on. With this movie, it started its marketing only a few months ago, and the movie comes out in 4 months. And I feel like Solo had a better momentum going into it than this one.
No,
Isn't it May?
No.
Isn't it May?
May, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 months.
No, Solo had no momentum going into it. It's too soon, quite frankly, to start marketing this movie too heavily. Studies have shown when you start marketing the movies too early that people think they already came out. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to market too early. In fact, quite frankly, they're marketing Doomsday way too early. You're going to see a marketing push for this probably starting March. Hoppers is coming out in March. Pixar.
That's my guess.
It's a Disney movie. You're going to see a full trailer sometime around the time of Hoppers. But the marketing, believe me, when May rolls around, everyone in the world's going to know there's a Star Wars movie coming out.
I hope.
But this was just fun. This was just fun. But I've seen people who know better, like Peter Scaretta, the founder of Slash Film. He tweeted out that this trailer, this commercial, made him less excited to see the movie, and I'm like, what? Like that doesn't even make sense.
I, in some regards, I get that notion, although I don't see it because I adore this corner of Star Wars and the potential this movie has. I have friends being like, this movie, what are they doing? Because a lot of people still have this whole like stigma of like, it's just a TV show in the movie theater. What are they doing? And what Peter was saying, I think, what I think at the basis, what he was getting is that like, you had an opportunity to make a big statement, and they chose a spoof, which it's there, and some people thought it was cute. I thought it was cute, but like, you would want to make a big statement. Now, I do agree with Joe now that okay, we didn't get nothing for the movie in this and today or yesterday. We're probably gonna get it on March, but now March I think even has more pressure to it. Be like, that trailer better come in swinging and put anybody to doubt. But like, oh, we'll just wait for it on Disney Plus. And no, you got to go see this movie in the theaters, and it's okay if you haven't seen the show. Grandma can go see this movie and have fun time. Now, if you have seen the show, here's a shot or two of stuff that might be connected to it or might allude to stuff, and that's enough. That's enough for anybody for me to go like, oh, I got to do a stream and talk about the Easter eggs and shit. But
I would say that
whether or not you agree with the public opinion that's going around about this, people saying, oh, I don't know about this, or oh, I didn't know this was coming out. Whether or not you agree with that or you're in that mindset, you still can't ignore that a lot of people are under that mindset.
Well, I want to point out though that this they're not advertising to people who watched the show. That's not what the advertising for. You have to keep this in mind. This advertising is for people who did not watch the show.
I know,
because
exactly.
people that did watch it are going to see it anyway. So I think you have to remember that's the primary audience is catching people that don't know a lot about these characters.
Sure, and I think that like that is one angle you can go to. It's the same thing that like similar to like the Supergirl thing with the puppy bowl. Like, okay, that's specifically for those who don't, who just love dogs and go, oh, there's a cool movie coming out soon, a sci-fi movie with a dog in space. We should go see that. And again, it's the way I'm looking at this stuff because, like I said earlier, I don't need to be sold on this. I'm already going, and I've been trying to do my best with like trying to out of my very small niche corner, be like, you remember, folks. This movie's coming out. It's not on Disney Plus. Don't wait for it on Disney Plus. Go see it in the movie theaters.
Know what, Ronan? That's a really good point. I think that anybody that isn't 100% dialed into this might just assume this is a Disney Plus thing.
Yeah, like again, like a lot of and people were saying it looks fake or whatnot. This is like a lot of that stuff is boiling down to people's perspective of like how does TV look now compared to cinemas, or how does movie now look, which much more closer to TV nowadays. And again, this is a way to get a different corner of the audience that's not your regular fan base that's going to be there the first opening week or two. But I think there could have been a stronger thing to kicking gear. Like, well, you know, I don't know if we're going to watch it now, but I think the Cliff Booth teaser trailer was way better than this. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So,
you know, you hit on one of my pet peeves. One of my real pet peeves with this movie is the people who are saying, this just looks like a glorified episode of the series.
Exactly.
They're only saying that because there's a series.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the only reason they're saying this. If there was no TV show called The Mandalorian and this was the first they ever saw, they wouldn't have that criticism. They're going in with a preconceived notion. They're like, I know this is a TV show, so I'm bringing that with me. When I watch this trailer, I'm bringing my baggage with me and saying this just looks like the TV show. But the fact of the matter is, the effects quality on TV is movie quality now, especially on premium things like Disney Plus and Apple TV.
Apple TV, specifically Prime, sometimes too, yeah.
Right. So no, this does not look like a TV episode. It's, if anything, it's that TV looks like movies now. But
I agree.
And what's weird is that, like,
I totally agree with this take. Sorry, it's about why do people care about profits? I don't understand.
It'd be a pretty damn expensive TV episode then.
Yeah, it's
and
not
here's the thing.
It's not your money.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not caring about the profits, but I care in the sense that, like, if this doesn't do good, what is it just momentum for this side of the universe that I care so much about? That's why I'm not. I'm not worried that Disney needs more money. I'm not worried about that.
This would reflect negatively on this particular IP portion, this portion of Star Wars. I don't think it's going to affect the greater Star Wars universe in a big way. It's just going to really affect like these characters in this IP, I think.
And I think a lot of things go from me. What I've been saying is that I missed the Star Wars show that the Star Wars YouTube channel had because there was an engagement going with the audience that they didn't just have to wait for a teaser trailer of something new to come out. That it was enough there to be had of a Discord, a proper Discord. And
go ahead, finish, Ronan. I have a couple.
And I think I love what Joe was saying of like how like TV has caught up with cinema and all this stuff, and I get that, but I also understand some people saying like, you know what? I wish that even though it potentially looks like the show or looks better, just look different and give it something striking that doesn't feel too familiar. Because I can't deny that, like, even for me, it looks good. It does feel a little familiar. And so I understand that notion of like, you know what, we had a chance to go a different route and yet keep the same energy going just through a different lens. Right. And not use the same lens we've been using for 3 seasons or 3 seasons and change of these characters.
Yeah, like it's familiar to us, the ones who have seen it, but they have to sell it to the ones who haven't.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jason, now as I'm highlighting comments, I see people get confused. This is not me necessarily calling you out or trying to trash you or whatever. I just want to clear some things up. So this is not a personal call out. Jason says, LOL, doing a 1986 ad for a movie that's catering to kids, WTF. But it's not just catering to kids, though. It's like they're trying to cater to the fans of Star Wars that have felt like Star Wars didn't feel nostalgic enough for them. So they're using another form of nostalgia to hook that audience. So we're talking about people my age and up. I was around in 1986. I remember those commercials. I was a kid when that stuff was on TV. So they're trying to appeal to the Gen Xers that have kind of turned their nose up at modern Star Wars by putting out that ad. That's why I said this ad isn't for everyone. It's a very specifically targeted ad towards a certain demographic.
Also, the Budweiser Clydesdale ads, they do like a new one of those ads like almost every year.
Yeah, they did some AI ones too.
So it's not like this is just from the 80s.
Right.
This went through the 80s, the 90s,
I just think that specific, I think it was trying to call back though to the older ones though. I would say probably, from my opinion. Also here, the adds another $10 million they'll fill it to make back at the box office. This is probably one of the most misunderstood things when it comes to advertising. So I'm going to say it here again. Advertising is an expected loss. You almost always eat your advertising. It's just something businesses do. As I run my own business, when I put ads out, that is money that I do not expect to get back in return. Matter of fact, and it's like this for me, it's like it for a lot of people, advertising to a certain degree is a tax write-off. You write it off at the end of the year or each quarter, however that works for you. So it doesn't matter if they make it back because they write it off. I'm almost certain that most of the advertising they do is a tax write-off. I'm almost certain because small businesses do it. I can't imagine that larger businesses wouldn't do it either. So I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
And what's weird is that like people were saying, is this movie gonna make $1 billion? I only like would want it to do that just to be like a big achievement, and it'd be like, all right, there's no excuse for the chuds to like be like, well, it didn't make, I made $1 billion, so like piss off. I personally, I don't need it to do that as long as it reaches a little bit more beyond its budget, which I'm assuming that with marketing is what, maybe $300 million, $350 on a good day.
I mean, rule of thumb, yeah.
Yeah, if you reach 500, that's already you pass your budget back.
But make sure it stays in theaters 46 days, because remember, if it's 45,
exactly.
That's a problem. So
I remember I was talking to somebody about I forget who it was, probably a friend of mine who was like, "What about the marketing, man? Like, I remember the days of the Force Awakens. That marketing was huge, man. The whole year people were just talking about it. I'm like, I get that, and I don't think you can replicate that again. And I told my friend that like it had been 10 years since Star Wars had been in the zeitgeist in that big of a way.
Yeah, we thought it was
we live in a different era where there's a TV show on every year or something on every year of Star Wars that is in your face in some regard. Now, some stuff doesn't get as much attention as The Mandalorian does, which breaks my heart, but it's in the zeitgeist. Sometimes in a detrimental way for negative hoping for some chuds, sadly.
Yeah.
And the thing that I just hope that if by next month we start seeing, interviews, we start seeing the magazines pop up, we start seeing all this stuff go in a big way. That way, come May 22nd, we're all like, fuck that. Even if they attempt to even put this out on Disney Plus down the line, it's like, no, fuck that. We gotta go see it in the movie theater. We gotta go run in and see it. I hope we at least get to that notion close.
Doleboy Jack here says, I just think this is a lame idea. That's fine. Like, again, I've said this many times. You can like and dislike anything. I'm not going to argue with you that you have to like it. So I think this is a fair take. If you think it's lame, and a lot of people probably do, it might just be that particular form of advertising isn't really appealing to you as a consumer. So
yeah, I thought it was cute. I don't hate it. If we had a very much stronger teaser already and a trailer out, and then we got this, I'm like, guys, what do you want? We already have a trailer out. Like,
I also want to say, I find it extremely boring, and this is what the FNT chat is, this is what the Geeks and Gamers chat is most of the time. I find it extremely boring to argue about the finances of large companies.
Yeah.
That is such an extremely boring and ignorant discussion to have. Let me explain.
We're not seeing a nickel out of that.
A lot of those fans try to act like they're privy to all that knowledge when they're not.
Well, yeah. Well, let me tell you why it's boring. Number one, it's boring because I don't think it affects my love for a movie or a TV show or anything like that. It has no effect on that whatsoever. And the reason why it's ignorant is we don't have the numbers. Every budget that comes out, anybody that's ever done any type of movie reviews or movie stuff over the years, we never ever get the actual exact budget number of a movie. We never get it. They're always estimated numbers. That's why it says the estimated budget is this. We don't know these numbers. We also don't know any of the financial shit that goes on behind the scenes. So it's a very ignorant conversation because most of it is based on stuff we're not even sure of.
And it's not going in your pocket anyway. What does it matter?
So I don't give a fuck. Like, I really honestly don't. I like debunking it because it's fun to make fun of people who don't understand the shit. It's always fun to do that. But ultimately, if you're a fan and you give a fuck about whether or not a movie breaks $1 billion and then you're going to change your opinion on it, then I question any interest you have in the movies at all.
And to Harrison's point down there, the people who are so called critics, they should actually be criticizing the thing that's being made, not how much was spent on it or what went on monetarily behind the scenes. These guys aren't financial advisors. They're not bankers. They're critics.
Yes. No. So Jake, I would even say, matter of fact, I'm going to say this right now. I've never said this before, but this has got me thinking about it. And Jake, you just put it in my mind. They are not film critics.
No,
They are
no.
people interested in the financial parts of large companies. They're interested in how much money movies make, how much money streaming services make. They don't care about the art of movie making or TV show, fucking episodes of TV shows, streaming shows. They don't care about any of that stuff. The artistic integrity doesn't matter to them. They can't argue about those things because they don't give a fuck about them.
To have that be your sole purpose is sad.
They get on stream and they argue about how much money a movie lost. Well, what did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, let's have a real conversation about it.
To be fair, though, I don't even think that's what they're about. I think they're just about debunking these films and tearing them down by any means necessary. And if the finances is something they can use, because if that's not useful to them, they would go to another metric.
Yeah. All right, so we got a couple super chats here, and then we're going to talk about the Bad Bunny stuff, I think, and maybe take a look at the Scream trailer. I don't know if that one's getting claimed or not. Probably is, but we'll take a look at the teaser. I don't know if there's anything new in it or not. Somebody mentioned we should watch it, so I don't know. Lone Wolf with a $10 super chat. Thank you again, Lone Wolf, for supporting the channel. Jokey promo rather than a substantial teaser that would build anticipation for the movie. Boba said it didn't move the needle for excitement. Need more compelling marketing to regain the level of hype. So again, totally, if you don't get it, or I say you get it. If you don't like it, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. I don't know if it needed to move the needle, to be quite honest. And this might be a hot take or not. I think they just wanted to put eyes on it. That's it. I don't think they were trying to like change anybody's opinion of the movie with this teaser, right? I agree with you though. I think the next stages of marketing need to be stronger, and they need to actually showcase the product, because right now that teaser to me felt like something made for TikTok.
Exactly.
Which is fine, but it was on the Super Bowl, so
I don't even consider it a teaser. I consider it just a spoof ad.
I mean, it's to be quite honest, it's almost like them doing a Saturday Night Live version of a Star Trek commercial or Star Wars commercial.
Yeah.
But, it's whatever it is. I agree with part of this, and I disagree with part of this. I agree that they need to have much more concise marketing, impactful marketing moving forward. And like Joe said, as we get closer to the release of the movie, that's probably what we're going to see. But I would probably say I don't think that this teaser, whatever it is, it's not, like you said, it's not even really a teaser, because I don't think it's in the movie. And someone said they clarified that it's not in the movie.
The marketing guy.
So basically, it's just a way to get eyes on the property. So in that regard, I think it's fine. But and somebody in the chat suggested maybe that was a quote unquote teaser. I don't know what to call it, an ad for Mandalorian Grogu.
An ad, a promo, an ad
that took you to an actual trailer. People would probably be excited about it then.
Yeah,
it's sort of like
it was a TV spot more than anything.
You guys continue to talk. I'll be right back.
It's sort of like the Toy Story spot. Did you see the Toy Story spot, which was actually a Levi's ad?
I didn't see it. No.
The Toy Story spot started with like Woody's ass. Yeah, it starts with Woody's ass walking into the room, and then it just cut to other people's asses, and it turned out to be an ad for Levi's.
Jesus.
But it was like rolled into a Toy Story spot.
That was a choice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and again, I think that come May, if this movie starts kicking and screaming and it has legs into June or July, then be like, you know what? I was wrong. You know what? They could afford to make that spoof ad. But if for some odd reason there's some heckle and the movie's not as growing as I would have hoped it would, people are gonna be looking back at it and be like, you know what? There was a window right there that could have signaled a lot more stronger, and it was a bold move, Cotton.
I hope word of mouth really works in this movie's favor.
Nice ball reference.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah. Again, I've like I told Jake already, I'm doing a rewatch of the series with friends. I'm going to be adding on each season, and I'm hoping that, like, not just for my channel, but I'm hoping I let people know. Remember, there's something coming this way that, like, if you want, come hang out with us, and for the next few months we're gonna be doing this, and And Star Wars doesn't need me, but like in some form or manner, I'm hopefully helping Momentum grow and be like, no, it's not on Disney Plus, it's gonna be in the cinemas. So get ready. And I to me, one of the funnest things I have ever done on YouTube. And I think I was like, should I do this? Because there's so much more. There's such vanity with using the word theory on stuff that's in pop culture. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a Star Wars theory video about something I saw on on a teaser trailer, and it was all about Sigourney Weaver's character and why I think it's so fucking cool that she's in this movie and the potential of this character. And like, I want to see a novel about this character. I want to know her history, even though she might not be in that movie that much. But I was like, that was one of the funnest things I've ever done. And I'm hoping that transforms or like signals to people, be like, all right, let's give it a try. Let's watch it.
I mean, that was something I kind of wanted more of out of the sequels. I have my issues with them, but Last Jedi, I introduced that whole concept of ancient Jedi texts that fill in the gap, between the movies and talk about other ancient forms of Jedi lore. It's like, I wanted to see more of this, and we got almost none of it.
Well, you know why? You know why you didn't see more of them? Because page turners, they were not.
Canto bite.
As Anurin Hunt here, which gave us a $2 New Zealand super chat, which brings us to 5 out of 5 in the Debunks channel. So we've hit the goal in both channels. Says grifters really look for any reason to hate. I would argue that the reason to hate is money. You know what I mean? I think what you're saying is they will find any reason to hate. Like they will look for whatever they can to make that sweet dollar bill.
You go, ooh, I have some nice green in my hand. Let me spin the wheel of bullshit, and I'll just complain about whatever it lands on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. I did see someone talking about Night of the Seven Kingdoms very quickly. Is anybody watching that now? You are?
Come on now. I've been singing the praise out of this fucking show since before it dropped. Oh, I fucking love, dude. Wait, are you caught up, Eric?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Dude, again, non-spoilers. By the end, I was hollering and cheering, and I was just like, it was a let's fucking go moment. It was a let's fucking go moment.
Oh my God, not the Mr. T pillow.
This is my emotional support, Mr. T.
Oh
that's right, sucker.
We're doing any bonus topics tonight, Eric?
No bonus topics. Yeah, we'll do bonus topics on Thursday. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 4 currently has a 9.7 out of 10 score on IMDb, one of the highest in the Game of Thrones franchise. I really love this show, but I want to be very honest here, and this is just me sort of looking at what's happening in the story. If Sir Dunk was a woman, they would have nothing but negative stuff to say about the show. Think about this for a second. Everything that he's doing in the show, everything that's happening, if he were Brie Larson, it would be DOA for the chuds. They're talking about how good it is, but swap him out with a woman, and they would hate it. So I just think it's funny because I think their criticisms are inconsistent. That's just my opinion. But it's a great show. But I've liked shows like this before. You know what I mean? And they hate these kinds of shows whenever they feature someone who's a woman or somebody who's diverse. You know what I mean? Yeah, Big Fieldy says they'd hate a Brienne of Tarth movie. Yeah, absolutely. However, I would say, for me personally, this is my favorite thing out of the live action Ice and Fire books. The Game of Thrones books, essentially.
Okay.
I like it better than everything else. The OG series and House of the Dragon.
I agree.
House of the Dragon was 50-50 for me. I loved season 1 and thought season 2 was a little disappointing. But this has been just comparing the start of this to the start of both of those series. I'm already more invested in this.
Yeah. And man, y'all ain't ready for next Sunday. Woo! Or this Sunday, because
I've heard shit. Oh, okay, Evan, you don't got to bring that up. Eric,
what happened?
They countered your point about it being a woman. People would have different reactions
unless. Oh yeah, unless it was Gina Carano. Yeah,
they didn't like her at first either.
And again, it's weird because again, when she first appeared on the show, I was like, "Oh, I like this different angle with a vet from the rebellion." And then the first 2 seasons, I was like, "All right, I'm enjoying this character." And then shit just kept coming out. I was like, "God damn it!"
Yeah, they gave her enough gold shillings for her to sell her morals away.
She was literally about to have her own show.
Yeah.
Literally about to have her own show, and then
On the verge of greatness, we were this close.
And by the way, I want to point out that she's been completely quiet since that deal dropped with Disney and Star Wars.
Yep, hush money.
oh boy,
I
you're gonna
still
stay
think-
quiet.
I still think they shouldn't have derailed their plans because of her. I think they should have kept going and either recast Cara Dune or brought in a character who looked just like her and be like, "Hey, that was my sister. I'm Lara Dune."
Lara, dude. Yo, I've been thinking the same thing, man.
Yeah. Michael says, "You watch live on VOD, click the like, thumbs up button. It helps the channel grow. And click subscribe and the bell button for alerts of new shows and videos." Thank you so much, Michael, for being here and being a channel member with the shout-outs. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.
We did get a $10 super chat from Lone Wolf. DM'd you a new clip of Ian Magneto. It's funny, enjoy it. Gave you a timestamp on Boba talking Mando Clayface. You're interested to hear thoughts on text for context. Okay, I'll look for that. Did you DM me on Twitter or Instagram or Discord? Where did you send it?
Pretty sure I know what
Just
Ian
so I know.
McKellen clip he's talking about.
Oh, from the Stephen
Jersey.
Colbert show.
The Jersey, yeah. Like,
Okay.
that was so random and out of place, but I'm like, you know what?
Discord.
Oh, that
okay.
tracks. The way Ian behaves. Oh yeah, that tracks.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you so
Yeah,
much.
that's the thing. People keep saying, "Oh, we need to get him out of these events." I'm like, yes,
No,
life of the party at these things,
I want more of him.
right?
I do want to get to the last topic here. Let me find it. Hold on.
I just remembered I was wearing a Magneto shirt currently as we were talking about this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That variant cover.
Yep.
Where's it at here? Oh my God, I've got to scroll a million places to get to this.
Only the strong. I love Lucy Lawless, but I think she would have been too old for Cara Dune. I mean, she's like, isn't she like 20 years older than Gina Carano?
I don't know.
So it
Lucy
says
Lawless,
here.
she's like,
57.
I don't know how old Gina Carano is, but Lucy Lawless is nearing 60.
She's also on a TV show that's on TV. Like now it's or streaming. I mean,
Oh, if I was about to say a TV show that's on TV, I would expect.
no. I meant to say on streaming. Yeah, it's a TV show on streaming. At least where we're at, and it's about like some police officer mystery investigation series or something like that. So it says here, Bad Bunny officially has the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history with more than 135.4 million viewers. Thoughts on this?
Were you talking
Dude.
about Murder, Eric?
Huh?
That show that you talked about with her? Or are you talking about My Life is Murder?
Maybe.
Okay.
Eric, you should have seen me. And full disclosure, I think I already told this to people. Before the stuff he's been saying these past few weeks, I wasn't a big fan of his and like his music. Not because I don't like it I just like it's not my cup of tea. Like I have very specific likes when I with music and stuff. But I've always respected that a fellow Latino has been doing good for himself. And I remember seeing him in Bullet Train. I'm like, I like him in Bullet Train. But his stance and stuff these past few weeks has earned my respect. I respect him a lot. And when he was getting so much bashing because he wasn't up here in the Super Bowl, from the boo-hoo for everybody else, I was like, no, man, fucking go there with a blaze of glory and do your thing. And I watched it. And again, I'm not into his music, but I started bopping a little bit. I was like, okay. If I'm at a club or at a party, I don't mind listening to this. And then, dude, the ending, naming all the Latin America countries, I stood up and just started applauding, dude. I was just like, yo,
It's so funny. It's so funny that so many people came out and talked about how bad it was, but then also said they weren't going to watch it.
Exactly.
Joe, you've talked about this before with like movies and TV shows where it's like, how, if you're not watching it, then how can you give a criticism on it if you're not actually watching what it is?
Exactly.
There was somebody saying they were going to boycott it or were boycotting it while they were there at the stadium watching the fucking Tupasa, whatever the fuck the other thing is, Kids Rock stuff was like. It's like, you already bought a ticket. You're there. What are you talking about? You're not protesting and shit. Ridiculous. Yeah, I was proud. I was a proud Latino that night.
So Bad Bunny's name is Benito. That's his actual name, right?
Yeah.
There's a picture of him as a kid with like a disgusted look on his face, dressed up as a bunny, I believe. And he got the nickname Bad Bunny from that picture. So that's where the name comes from. As far as I know, I looked it up a while ago. So not sure.
Yeah.
Well, kid, I want to reiterate this, and I was talking to several people about this today. If you're just somewhere where you're like, I am a racist, so I'm not going to watch Bad Bunny because he speaks Spanish, right? If that's your take on it, then be a racist, whatever. It's your own, you're being personally racist, doesn't affect me, right? So just be miserable in yourself, right? But if you're like, I am so racist that I'm not going to watch Bad Bunny, instead I'm going to watch a really bad halftime show spitefully made against Bad Bunny and the NFL, where the lead person in that show wrote a song about graping underage women and saying it's mandatory to do that. That's another level of like disgust to me.
But by the way, can we start calling Kid Rock Old Man Rock?
Yeah, exactly. But let's look and see what the Chuds are saying about this situation here. So WDW Pro, another lame-ass fucking channel, says, lame defense mode engaged.
I almost defended them.
Yeah.
But then I realized I was thinking of WDW News Today. I was
yes.
Say, they're not. Then I was like, no, I'm thinking of a different.
Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show was an all-American triumph. Turning Point USA was a boring MAGA grift with Kid Rock. And we're going to watch a little clip that kind of summarizes the Turning Point USA show, which I think is funny. And Nerdrotic here goes, because the NFL is so authentic. If you don't like it, why do you give a fuck about... This is the part I don't understand. If you already think the NFL is fake and it's not good and you've been boycotting it for years, why do you care what the halftime show is?
Because the internet told them to.
Yeah.
Also, I've never followed football. I'm not a football fan, but there's one thing I know from, just osmosis being around football fans. Don't people always complain about the halftime show? Don't people always hate the halftime show?
Yes, there's a lot of complaints about it because of what band they want to see there, but not at the level we're seeing here, where they literally were like, "Oh, there's a person that speaks Spanish who's brown, so we're going to make it an all-white show."
Oh, I'm not taking away. I'm not taking away from the racism. I'm just saying this is a double standard because nobody ever really cares about the halftime show.
You go back to 2022's halftime show; they had a crowd. Or they had a roster for their halftime show. You had Eminem, Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent. All those guys together were performing different bits, and then they did their own bits separately and then came together for one. No one was complaining. People loved that halftime show.
Right.
Last year?
But they were told to hate this one. People were told to hate this one. That's the difference.
And again, that's weird because last year it was like the song of the year was Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And he showed up and did a full-on show that was very meta, and it was like people were like in theaters dancing to it and be like, "Yo, this is something else." And then, God forbid, the guy who wins the Grammy this year has so much love and support for him is on the stage and rocking it out. It's just like it's ridiculous.
But because it's the popular thing to hate the halftime show on the internet now, they just have everybody going around there like sheep doing whatever they're told.
Yeah. Well, the other issue is, and I know nobody wants to talk about this because, again, it's political, and we started out a little bit political.
I don't mind.
But there is a very polarizing situation in this country with anti-immigration rhetoric and going around and scooping up kids and mothers and grandmothers instead of going after the worst of the worst like they said they were going to do. There was also threats of ICE showing up at the Super Bowl, even though Puerto Rico is an American territory, which made no fucking sense. And everybody's saying
a lot of people fail history, man. A lot of people fail history.
So it says here, happy Superbread and Circus Bowl Sunday. And then Neurotic goes, the NFL is gay. So then why do you care then? If this is something you don't like, why are you commenting on everybody's post about it?
How does this clown have a platform?
He's got nothing else to do.
And then we have heel versus snot-nosed Brad here. Samba, actually, Samba is reporting a 39% drop in the half. These guys, this is how they function. It's never about how good it was. Did they like it? What kind of cultural relevance it is? It's like, let's just go straight to the numbers. Every time.
I'd like to also point out that when Samba was saying that Star Trek Discovery was a hit, they were discrediting Samba and saying that their numbers aren't accurate and that they don't actually matter. Absolutely,
you're 100% right. Yeah, Samba reporting a 39% drop in the halftime show from last year. Guess the rabbit or Bad Bunny or whatever dildo name he uses wasn't it? Why does he always talk about? Christ. Why does he always talk about sexual things and anything he talks about?
All his comments have to be phallic.
Because all these bozos peaked in high school. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. Because he doesn't know what sex is. Much like Barry Allen. When
Ryan KKK Kittle says,
"Whoa,
the official numbers won't come out until tomorrow, probably. But if the traditional viewership numbers closely mirror the Samba report, it indicates a massive drop in viewers for the halftime show." By the way, I want to point out the halftime show is accompaniment to the NFL, to the Super Bowl. Like, if you're going to argue the halftime show is a separate thing, then you've already conceded that the Super Bowl and the halftime show are independent of each other and they don't have to cater to each other. So are they a separate thing or are they a package together? Because these guys would argue that they're a package together and that the halftime show should cater to the NFL fans and exactly what they want. But here they're arguing that the halftime show is a separate entity and we should look at those numbers independently of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if you're a hardcore sports fan and you're really into the game, isn't the halftime when you go and use the bathroom or like prepare your snacks?
This brings me to my point, and I'm going to say this very clearly for everybody watching. The halftime show isn't for football fans. The halftime show is for other people to tune in so that it becomes the biggest event of the year. You get people tuning in to the halftime show, and that gives numbers to the Super Bowl because they want to be the biggest thing on TV. It also allows people who are hanging out with their friends that are there for the football to have something to look forward to while they're partying with their friends. The halftime show never has been, let's put music out there for football fans.
Yeah.
It's never done that. It's a dumb fucking chud brain, grip brain take to think that that's the purpose of it. It just doesn't make any sense.
You know what, Eric? There was one of the things I heard that really brightened my heart that night. Besides so much proudness that a lot of Latinos were sharing, like, man, from all corners of Latin America, not just Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Mexico, El Salvador, Colombia, everybody else. Besides them being proud of like him shouting us out, I remember seeing some people kept saying, I don't know what is being said in this song, but I like the music. I'm into it. And I was like, that is the achievement right there.
I mean, these are the same people that would go and sit through an opera where they don't understand a lick of Italian.
And someone said, if you wouldn't change an Italian opera, why would you want to change a Spanish-speaking samba music? Why would you do that?
Understand all the lyrics in the Lion King songs? Like, it's a dumb fucking take. It makes no sense whatsoever. And then there's people lying saying there was no English when Lady Gaga literally sung an English song during the halftime show, which proves they didn't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Nope. Again, they just regurgitated what the internet told them to.
Yeah.
They're still taking huge numbers because it's a Super Bowl, but this would be comparative disaster for the NFL and advertisers based on their expectations and a total rejection by the viewing audience for Bad Bunny performance. The viewing audience for Bad Bunny does not correlate with the viewing audience for the Super Bowl in the NFL. Star Wars Girl here says, rate Bad Bunny's halftime show performance from 1 to 10. 0. Okay.
Jeez.
That has got to be the worst halftime show in the history of halftime shows. So how much do you know about the history of the halftime show?
I was about to say, clearly you haven't seen many halftime shows.
We went from Michael Jackson and Prince to these shit shows. How embarrassing. Do you notice what every picture is there in the In Wokeness panel?
But do you also notice she called out Michael Jackson and Prince so she could say, I'm not racist.
Right.
And also, those folks are no longer with us. So, like, what do you want to do? You want to get AI shit in here?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't give them ideas, Rona.
No, they already have enough ideas of that shit.
Here goes Yellow Flash. The stadium looked dead during the halftime show because people get up to use the fucking bathroom during the halftime that are there to watch football. The halftime show is made for viewers at home watch.
If you pay for a ticket to the Super Bowl, your first priority is not going to be watching the Super Bowl from your stadium seat. Or watching the halftime show from your stadium seat.
I've never been to a football game before, but I've been to baseball games. When the 7th inning stretch comes on, everybody gets out of their seat and runs to the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the stadium, everybody. I imagine it's the same during halftime.
I don't think we need to say this, but going to the Super Bowl isn't going to a concert for the person performing at the halftime show. It's not the same thing. Flash goes, I turned this shit off the moment it switched to Spanish TV. Oh, a little bit of racism there. We have same people. Imagine getting mad about this and still thinking you're a good person. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. And then instead of agreeing with this and going, yeah, that's actually true, he gets mad about it. Same people that preach this will also put a bike lock in a sock and bash you in the head with it for disagreeing with them. Please point out what you're talking about with this hyperbolic shit.
Yeah,
please explain to me.
What the fuck kind of analogy is that?
And then he shows a picture here of somebody getting attacked. Keep in mind, let's think about this for a second. Keep in mind, he is comparing Bad Bunny and Bad Bunny's music and the people that surround him to somebody that murdered a person on a bus. I don't know what kind of fucking brain worms you have to have for that.
IQ's out the anus.
I just don't know. I have no clue. There's a lot more stuff to look at, but you know what? We've already kind of demolished it anyway. They're just a bunch of idiots.
I saw somebody on Threads the other day that said, hey, liberals, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? I'll wait. And then it said in parentheses, I bet they're all running to Google now.
TT Pregundo, EOO,
well,
I don't know, Bali in Volatero, whatever that. I can't remember the second half of that song because my Spanish is really bad. But I like these songs; they're good songs.
But I actually responded and I said,
La Romana.
Said I couldn't tell you. I don't listen to Bad Bunny. I like punk rock music. But you know what? That doesn't change the fact that he's a popular act and is like at the top of the charts now.
He did a song with Cardi B.
Yeah, I'm a 50-year-old dude. What do I know? It's not for me. It's for the people. It's for what's popular now.
Yeah, in the clubs right now. Yeah. Like I know a lot. There's a lot of stuff from Bad Bunny that I love. But I thought before we go, let me read some super chats here before we go. We're going to look at a couple things from Lone Wolf. He sent a couple things over, so we're going to look at that first. Steigervore here says, ironically, the Kid Rock alternative show aired on TBN, which is a religious TV network. Oh, we're going to look at that. I actually forgot about that. We're going to look at that too, Steigervore. So let's do this here. This is a very short clip that kind of talks about how ridiculous this halftime show was, if you even want to call it that I thought would be kind of funny. And then we'll move on from the topic. But I do want to point out that Kid Rock, again, did a song talking about doing meth shit like that while he was performing on TBN. That's always good. Lone Wolf here with the $5 super chat. Eric, why don't you just mute these Twitter chuds channel from your algorithm? It will be less toxic on your feed because Twitter is a toxic place. I only go there to bookmark stuff and get things we can talk about on here. And the minute I go there, it's just awful stuff. Also, Lone Wolf, I kind of run a channel where my entire purpose is to debunk this stuff. So muting it would kind of defeat the purpose of me doing that. So it's kind of it comes with the territory. Which, by the way, I want people to know that I'm not affected by this at all. I know a lot of people say, how do you deal with this or whatever? I'm not affected by this. It doesn't affect me at all. If I feel like I have to take a break from stuff, I take a break from it. Anyway, this is really funny. We're going to watch this and we're going to look at Lone Wolf's clips that he sent over because I think it would be a good way to sort of end it off here. But check this out.
This is the Turning Point USA halftime show broken down into 2 minutes. I've removed the music due to copyright reasons. The show opened with a conspiracy theorist saying a few words. Right off the top, there were some audio problems with underwhelming, out-of-sync pyrotechnics, while the guitarist from Brantley Gilbert's band played the national anthem on electric guitar. Gilbert then performed the song Real American with fire, 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 and lots of fire. Second song was sort of a ballad. It included rap sections, guitar solos, and some spoken word. Then Gabby Barrett came out in a beautiful blue suit with flowing blonde hair. She had a lovely voice, but the audio production was so poor that most of what she sang was incomprehensible.
Aww.
Sing in English already! Moving on to Lee Brice with the lyric, "We're up when the rooster crows, we clock in when the whistle blows," in a song that was about being blue collar, not alcoholism. How dare you think such a thing about a song called Drinking Class? The next song was about a truck, a gun, some boots, cutting grass, and his declaration that transgender folks don't exist.
Oh.
Third song, He's Hard to Love, alcohol, and He's Hard to Love. We then move on to The Big Show, Kid Rock, lights, lights, and more lights. He wore his good shorts for this one. He opened with a hit from 1999 that mentioned beepers, crackheads, methadone clinics, hookers, crystal meth, and topless dancers. Perfect lyrics for a Turning Point USA event. Either Kid Rock forgot the lyrics to his own song, or the audio was not synced correctly. It was hard to tell. Blackout.
Yeah, I actually saw the video clip. It looks like it was pre-recorded, and the audio and the visuals were out of sync with each other.
I've never heard of any of these.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Lights come up on a pirate cello player and an evening gown violinist. They played an instrumental
fuck?
number. The next introduction, Robert Ritchie, a.k.a. Kid Rock wearing pants. His country ballad included a spoken word section about greasy parts. Kid Rock with pants talked about Bible and Jesus. The same man once wrote the lyrics, young ladies, I like 'em underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory.
Those are the real By the way, those are the real lyrics, and they're in a kids movie. They're in Osmosis Jones. Yes. He plays a character in that movie singing that song, and those lyrics are in that song in that movie.
I barely remember that movie.
The Turning Point USA production was 35 minutes long, which was nearly 3 times longer than Bad Bunny's performance. That's some crazy math.
Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at that. Yeah, so if you're going to tell me that you're turning out of the halftime show to go watch somebody who made a song about statutory with somebody who's underage, you're a shit person. There's nothing redeemable in that. It's just bad. And the show was garbage. So
Garbage.
Garbage.
Basura.
All right. So
Hey, Ronan, say that a little louder.
Basura.
There you go.
Let's see. All right. So this is from Lone Wolf. It is an Ian McKellen. Oh, hold on. Wait. You said you gave me the timestamp? Hold on. Where's the timestamp?
Hey, Ronan, what are you laughing at?
Because I know what it is.
Yeah, I know that clip too.
Wait. Ronan, or not Ronan. Wait. Oh, never mind. I see. Here we go. The timestamps for the Boba stuff. Gotcha.
Boba Fett?
All right. Here we go. Let's watch this.
Jesus.
Ian McKellen. Backseater, I realize that it's not funny to make fun of people with mental illness, so I'm just not going to respond to you. I know your MO, so yeah, chill out. All right. Here we go. This is from Lone Wolf.
Standing up, pretending to do that, and the wind is blowing in my hair, and I'm putting on a fierce look, and I'm trying to be magnetic. Yeah. And
oh my God!
The director over the loudspeaker says, "Ian, look more furious."
Hold on. I got to run that back. That's funny.
That's
hold on.
funny.
Where's it at?
He said, shout something. I said, what do I shout? He said, shout the worst thing you could possibly think of. So I said, Mar-a-Lago. Standing up.
This dude's 86 years old and he's still got that kind of energy.
I love Ian.
Shout out so much for that, Lone Wolf. That was incredible. Magneto is the GOAT. So incredible.
How badly did I want him to shout Magneto was right there?
I accidentally opened the whole interview. I was like, wait a minute, where's the timestamp? And then I saw,
It's such a good interview. Oh, man, it was awesome.
All right, there was something else with Boba you sent me, Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf, is this Boba thing just the, you said 143 to 325? Is this the thing about Clayface? You can just say yes or no in the chat, so I know which one it is. Did Lone Wolf bail? He was here a second ago.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know where he went.
All right. Let's see. 143. I think he said 143. All right. By the way, we're going to watch a very short clip from Boba. Oh, you read it in Discord? Okay. All right, cool.
Boys.
You're gonna head out, Ronan?
Yeah, I think I gotta head out.
All right, see you later, dude. Thank you for coming in, guys. Check out Ronan's channel. You want to promote anything before you go?
Sure. Go watch the Night of the Seven Kingdoms reaction for the latest episode. Me and Jake do almost a weekly stream now, talking about it. Full review. I did a reaction to the Adventures of Cliff Booth teaser. That one was fucking awesome. You go watch that and be on the lookout. There's a lot of more stuff I got planned for the rest of the few months.
Okay.
Take care, boys.
See you later. Take care.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. All right. We're going to watch this, and then I think we're going to head out probably, unless we get some super chats, because we're coming up at the end of the stream. We're at the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. All right, this is Boba Talks. Go over and show Boba some love. He is a friend of the show. And here's his thoughts on the Clayface stuff. I'm assuming you're sending this over because he probably provides some context that I don't have, which thank you for doing that, Lone Wolf. Here we go.
And is a better move in my mind because, sure, a lot of the interest in this movie will be decided, like a lot of movies, the marketing, how does it look to people, are they going to be in the mood to see something like this? But Halloween just gives you that extra edge anyway. I mean, sure, there will be some other contenders in the box office, but a lot of people will be feeling that spooky feeling. They'll be wanting that kind of Halloween fix through going to the theater with their friends and family. It's like, okay, what can we watch? And it's like, oh, Clayface is already there. Now, this kind of makes me now think about the trailer, which kind of maybe lines up to what James Gunn was saying. He was saying that James Watkins hasn't got his first cut yet. When being asked, are we going to get a trailer in the next couple of months, which would have been around March. But now, we're not getting Clayface until October 23rd. We might not get a trailer for a little bit longer. Obviously, the best case scenario would be sometime mid to late May. But as I've said before on the channel, just because we've got trailers for Superman and Supergirl, the first teasers, 6 months before the release of the actual movie, it doesn't mean that Clayface, a much lower budget movie.
Do you agree with that, Joe, about like the delay of the advertising for these things? I know you mentioned something about it earlier with
absolutely.
Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah, when you advertise these things too early, it's counterproductive.
Is going to do the exact same thing with its marketing cycle. They could leave it to maybe around the summer, maybe capitalize on it a lot closer to its release. Obviously, I would expect something quite a few months out, but maybe they're going to ramp things up as we approach things like San Diego Comic-Con and whatnot. But I would obviously like to see something sometime between May and June. But obviously, we're going to have to wait and see. But ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Well, we're not going to watch the Mando and Grogu thing because I think we're getting close to the end of the stream. Hold on. Do we make sure I got all my notes over here and we've done everything I had on my notes? I mean, we could talk about the Melania review bombing if you guys want to talk about it. It's not important. I just put it in my notes over here.
I came to a sad realization tonight.
What's that?
I went out to the movies with my wife to see Lost in Translation.
Mm-hmm.
Classic movie. It was back in the theaters, and it's one of my wife's favorites. So we went out and saw it tonight. And we saw that they had Melania popcorn buckets at the theater. And I realized at that moment that I'm going to end up owning a Melania popcorn bucket.
Were they giving them away with other movies?
No, they're selling them, but my local theater, when they have surplus that they couldn't sell, they start giving it away. When you order a large popcorn, they put it in the collector bucket that they couldn't sell. And obviously nobody wants the Melania buckets. And I realized they're going to be giving these away within a month. And I'm like, shit, I'm coming home with a Melania bucket in a few weeks.
Where's it at here? Hold on. Yeah, so it looks like Fox News is claiming that Melania is getting review bombed, and some of the other channels here are like Mr. H Reviews, I think is one of them, that is talking about it. So it says Melania targets 8 million opening despite critics' review bombing campaign. So now critics are review bombing? Is that what they're... What?
Here's... Let's see.
Don't have any interest, personally.
And then over here, Mr. H Reviews goes, the cope is insane. Starfleet Academy takes and media claims review bombing.
Oh,
so,
dear God. Dear God, do you know what the verified audience score is on Melania?
What is it?
99%.
Yeah, yes. And I talked about that. I was saying, like, people that are supporting the Melania movie need it to be a victory, so that's why they're purposely going on. I'm pretty sure that they're getting email blasts and stuff saying, don't forget to go and review Melania. That
would be really crazy if they were getting paid to do all that. But who would do
so?
something?
We have Mr. H Reviews here that's talking about claiming of review bombing, but then you have like the access media outlets like Fox going, it's definitely a review bombing campaign. That's so funny. I mean, it's just it's a fucking pay for play movie. Like Amazon gave Trump a bunch of money essentially to make sure that Trump doesn't come after him. That's the world we live in right now. Nick says Star Trek is always getting review bombed. I agree. I think it happens a lot more often than people actually want to admit.
It's like I keep telling people, when something goes direct to streaming, whether it's television or a direct to streaming movie, you cannot trust the audience score, because the only verified audience score is for movies you can sell a ticket to. So if it's free on television, it's subject to review bombing. If you paid for it, it's not. Now, of course, the Melania's got 99%, because the only people who actually bought a ticket to that are Melania fans. So.
Let's see here.
One second. Okay.
What are you doing?
Just putting something in private chat.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I got everything taken care of over here. Let's see. Jarbo's reacting to my short right now while I'm live. Is Jarbo live at the same time as I guess this is his short. This is his time of night. He responded to one of my shorts earlier today, but I didn't see which one it was.
We were on the Jarbo stream the other night. That was a good time.
Let me see which one it was. I think it was one of my more recent ones. I think it was the Star Wars catering to a younger audience or something like that. I think that's the one it was. It's fine. He's got a different opinion than me. I don't care if somebody has a different opinion than me. That's fine. He's entitled to that.
Wait, someone has a different opinion?
Yeah.
Hang on. I just pulled up his stream. He's reacting to... Geez, you're wearing a Marvel shirt. I can't... Without the volume, I can't hear what it is.
I'm pretty sure it was the Star Wars one.
I don't think I saw that one.
All right, so let's see what everybody voted on. In the Reloaded channel, you guys voted, and you voted for which won the poll. Defend a quote-unquote good film for Joe, or a bad film, I guess is what it would be called for everybody else. So defend a bad/good film. We'll do that for Joe there. And in the Debunks channel, you guys voted for Nerdrotica's failed video essay. That's a good one.
There's so much that could go into that.
Absolutely.
There's so much that could go into that.
So thank you guys for hitting the goal.
Eric,
I appreciate it.
You might want to give yourself a word cap so you don't go on for too long.
100%. All right, so before we head out, we'll be back on Thursday. We will do bonus topics on Thursday, so make sure you guys come back in. We've been live for almost 2.5 hours, so I am feeling the pressure. I need to take a break and grab something to eat. I am actually really hungry. So we're going to do our shout-outs. So clockwise, Joe, want to give everybody a little shout-out on your channels?
Come on over to Crazy Joe Adventures. We're going to go out on adventures, and it's going to be a good time. There's some good ones coming up.
Jake, you look a little busy. Did you want to shout out your channel, or
yeah,
I'll
good now.
I'll give him a second. Okay, there you go.
Good now. Joe Pet Jake right there on YouTube. Lost Levels on Sundays. Been trying to upload more. Life has found a way. Getting some life career changes kind of in the way right now. So once those are done and settled, uploads are going to be out more regularly again. And we got Let's Plays, retro reviews, rankings, character breakdowns, costume rankings, all that jazz. You guys know I love talking about all that nerdy stuff. So yeah.
So I want to point out something we got a couple of people in the chat that are a little spicy tonight. If you would have came into my Discord, you would have seen there's a little channel there that's a debate channel. All you had to do is join, come into the debate channel, and tell me you wanted to debate me, and we would have scheduled a debate stream. But instead, you came in and acted like people that still live with your mother, which I think at least one of you actually does.
Yeah, I stumbled upon this channel. It was kind of...
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
I literally would have sent a link over for a debate stream, and I probably would have done it tonight, but you came in acting like a child and talking shit. I think it would have been really entertaining for everybody. Everybody on the Debunks channel probably would have really loved watching me completely dismantle any argument you wanted to make. I would have enjoyed doing it, but you came in too hot, bro. You came in too hot. All you had to do is come in and go to the debate channel and say, hey, I want to debate you.
Have you ever seen this guy's channel?
Yeah. But he's calling me triggered, bro. You came into my Discord. You came into my Discord acting like a latchkey kid. So I'm not sure what the hell triggered means. Like, really?
I never heard of this guy till yesterday. I literally
you're not missing anything.
I stumbled by accident. I stumbled on his channel yesterday, and I'm sitting there like going, and he's like, "Yo, Ma, what do you think of this guy?" And I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." He crashed out on a stream because his mom used his noodle pot to cook something. Like, this guy's not a serious person. He's not a serious person. Like, if you go into his streams, it's just so obvious that it's a bunch of non-serious people. But it's okay. I honestly, this is, I would love for more people to come in that actually want to have a good faith debate with me. But when you come in doing all of this stuff, you make it impossible for me to do that.
The incels,
because I already know what the fuck you're about. I already know what you're about at that point. So you fucked it up. You fucked that up. If you wanted to have a conversation with me, it was very easy. It's literally, there's a whole channel in my Discord for that.
Eric, the incels love getting ass mad. You know that.
I'm sorry. I just, the guy goes, that was about 2 to 3 days ago, not yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Is this guy so dumb he doesn't realize that the thing is still up yesterday, even if he recorded it 2 to 3 days ago?
We're going to close up shop here in a second. Backseater, you fucked up, man. Yeah, I'm going to let you live with those consequences. Because like, if I've learned anything from you guys, it's that you like consequences for actions. That's what you want. So the consequence of your action of acting like somebody who still lives with his mother as a grown adult, I'm going to let you settle with that for a little bit.
And I'll say this right now, because he talked about getting kicked out of your server earlier. He didn't do it. I did. She fucked
Jake
around and found out.
By the way, no shade to anybody that actually lives at home with their parents. Times are hard, but I'm going to shade Backseater.
This economy
I'm
sucks.
shade him. Yeah, I'm going to shade him. Everybody else, you're fine. Him, specifically him. Specifically him.
It's
No
like when you're trying to act like a badass and your mom walks into the room, it's like the air goes out of the room.
Mom,
like
get out. I'm trying to shade somebody on YouTube. Get out.
It reminds me of that old meme of the kid.
Little Johnny, did you wipe your ass today?
You ever see that meme of the kid? It's like, hey, Ma, I'll be down for dinner in a minute. I'm being a badass on the internet.
How would you like that I peed on you? Bro, I'm not into your fetish. You and your friends can pee on each other. Don't bring me into your fucking fetish. That's not... Big Fieldy says they're in here because the message is getting out and they hate it. I know. It's just a little fun. Sometimes I like to play around with these guys because it's such easy targets.
And
anyway,
Chris, I've seen it. He's really good.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Ant spanked him around a little bit. Now he wants to come after other people. Find another target, Backseat. Yeah. Find another target. Thanks everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's been here all night. We had 130 some people through most of the night, so thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all the super chatters, everybody out there that did that, and everybody who watched. Make sure you go and check out Joe's channel, Jake's channel, and Ronan's channel. And we'll be back on Thursday. I might do a stream. Actually, I might be doing a stream tomorrow night on the Debunked channel. We'll see, because Joe is no longer streaming. I have no idea. Just reacting to stuff, probably. Anyway, all right, we're out of here. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see everyone on Thursday. Bye. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.